All right, welcome back. Aloha as we, well, it's hello and whatever. We're not in Hawaii, though, however. Isn't that right, Adam? It's good to have you back as well. Adam Hoffman, Nick Jackson with you as always as we are in the Anderson Arena down in Fulton, Missouri, as your Lincoln College Lynx taking on William Woods here in this one. As, again, we got a good one in store for us today, Adam. Again, the Lynx come in 4-4, dropping their last two on the road in that Northern Insurance Classic over in Fort Wayne, Indiana. But it kind of seems like, though, we're going to turn things around. We kind of talked to some of the coaches a little bit at times, and it seems like it's a new way here for the Lynx.
Yeah, it seems like we're going to something different. I mean, we're going back to our old starting lineup. We're going Tyrone Wright in the lineup instead of J.J. Turner, so it's good to see Mr. Wright back in the lineup. But, I mean, like you said, like the two losses that we had over the weekend, I mean, I wasn't there, but I was listening partially to some of the games, and, I mean, you told me, too. I mean, we had the wins pretty much in the bag, and then we just kind of lost it at the end, which is it's really typical. I mean, that's something we've always been struggling with. So it's just kind of like, why can't we close games out?
No, you're exactly right. Closing games has kind of been the issue for the Lynx. Not even, yeah, I was getting ready to say, not even in NAIA either, even in JUCO. How many times did we have Parkland on the ropes and came back and blew it and just kind of let those little mistakes cost us, it seems like, every single time. Again, although one good news, though, from that tournament, though, is every team was ranked there but us. So the Lynx got a lot of experience playing some top 25 national teams in the tournament and that they're going to see down the road in years to come. So with that being said, it was good experience for them.
Yeah, I think we definitely left our mark, too. I mean, we didn't win any of the games, but we kept it close. We kept it like watchable there for a little while, and then we just kind of lost at the end, like I said. So, I mean, it's something we can work on. I mean, it's definitely something we can look at film to say, like, this is where we messed up, this is where we need to get better. So I think Coach Lepp and Coach McGee will get the guys ready to go tonight.
Again, we did Friday night. That was when we took on Bethel College. Adam, you were calling the girls' game who they were playing Bethel. We kind of swapped road trips there in that one. As we went there, they came here. But again, we lost that one 87-77, and that game was close throughout. The Lynx were up by 10 at one point as well, and then kind of crawled their way. Bethel was there, an undefeated team, and they really just kind of came back on us like that. And nothing really the Lynx could have done except shot the ball maybe a little bit better. But again, the one that hurt the most, though, was the St. Francis game on Saturday afternoon, where you're taking on the number 16 team in the country in St. Francis. You're at their place. You're at their tournament. You have them on the ropes. You have them down by as many as 15 at one point early in that second half, and then you let St. Francis battle their way back into the ball game. We end up losing 74-66. But, Adam, one thing I wanted to point out to you, though, in that game is, like you said about closing out ball games, the Lynx were only down 2 with 45 seconds left to go. It was 66-64 in favor of St. Francis, and then those last 45 seconds, the Lynx could not buy a basket, just turnover after turnover, and then following a couple mistakes on the defensive end, led them to a 5-point swing and later on winning the ball game.
I think we just we get a little too lackadaisical when we have a lead. I think the girls have the same problem. I saw that on Friday against Bethel. I mean, it seems like both the teams, as soon as we get a comfortable lead, probably at like halftime or so, it just doesn't go our way in the second half. We can't bounce back at all, and then we lose it in the end.
No, you're exactly right. Trayvon Tyler, though, played pretty well over the weekend, had 22 points in that loss to St. Francis, had 4 rebounds and 3 assists in that ball game as well, going along with 3 steals. But really kind of the key factor here is for Darnell Latham Jr. as he really kind of stepped up for the Lynx.
Yeah, he's definitely a key scorer on our team. I think having him in the starting lineup is just another option that we have, because he doesn't really have a position to me. I mean, he can bring the ball to the floor, but he's probably his best when he's coming off a screen, just coming off the ball. He can really shoot the ball pretty well. So I think we definitely need to get him going early, just because at Robert Morris, I mean, when his shots are going, I mean, he's pretty hard to stop, really, just because the shot's so pure, so it's going to go in.
And one other thing, though, that we always love to look at is from the stats is that 3-point perimeter shooting for the Lynx, as their field goal percentage in the first half against Bethel was 30%. Did not shoot the ball particularly well at all, just 8 for 26 in that ball game, but then went 6 for 12 from behind the arc. So kind of some good news and bad news there for the Lynx, as we always know they've been a key three-point shooting team.
Yeah, it's just kind of like I wish we had something to look back on, just like, or something to sit back on, like a plan B if the three-pointer's not going. But it's just kind of like we live or die by the three-pointer, like you say all the time. So it's just, if it's not falling, we need something else to just get us going.
And like, we'll see what goes on. Again, the St. Francis held the Lynx scoreless in the last 2.5 minutes of that ball game, and that really kind of played a key factor down the stretch. The Lynx are going to have to do a better job, like you said, with closing out, and then also at the same time keeping the foot on the gas pedal as well, and making sure that they don't allow teams coming back into the ball game.
We really just can't be too lackadaisical with the ball. It seems like we're turning the ball over way too much, and we just need to close out games better just as a team. We're too talented to just lose games at the end.
And we're going to take a quick break for the national anthem. When we come back, those starting lineups coming your way next. Don't go anywhere as you guys are listening to Lincoln College basketball right here on 89X.
When is the best time to talk to your family about staying in touch during a disaster? When floodwaters reach your door? When wildfires are engulfing the edge of your neighborhood, or an earthquake is destroying buildings. When a tornado is tearing through town, or a hurricane strikes. Or is the best time perhaps today? During a disaster, you may not be able to stay in touch with your family or friends as easily as you think. And it's not always as simple as using your cell phone. That's why now is the time to take action. Go to ready.gov/communicate and make your emergency plan today. Don't wait. Communicate. Brought to you by FEMA.
Okay, forest animals. Kids are coming to the forest, and it's up to us to make their visit a good one. Sparrow, have you practiced the most popular bird songs for the year?
Of course.
Catchy. I like it. River, how's the temperature?
It's a refreshing 52 degrees, man.
I love it. Turtle.
He's not here yet, man.
He's late every morning. Okay. Squirrel.
The forest has been preparing just for you. To learn more about cool things to do in the forest, visit discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
We're back at the Anderson Arena here in Fulton, Missouri, where, again, your Lincoln Lynx taking on William Woods University here in this one. Again, Adam, as promised, we had the starting lineups here. So first, for William Woods, the home team on the scoreboard.
Yeah, for the Owls, you have number 0, Austin Curry. Number 1, Trayshawn Gauze. Number 20, Shad Kimball. Number 23, David Johnson Jr. And number 42, Mackenzie Fessler.
And should be an interesting matchup here for the Lynx today, as, again, no real change in the starting lineup, but for Coach Lepp. But one thing we do see back in the starting lineup, we'll start with him. He wears number 25, Tyrone Wright. Again, from the St. Louis area, kind of a home game for him in his neck of the woods as he gets into the starting lineup here, followed by Julian Powell, those two big men down low. And then your backcourt will be Trayvon Tyler and Montez Crumble, no shocker there. And then Darnell Latham Jr. in the starting lineup, as usual, for the Lynx as well. Again, taking on William Woods, the Owls here in this one. They come in 2-4, riding a 4-game losing streak, 5 if you count the Expedition game that they played over the weekend. But again, in their last game, they lost to Park University. That was a conference game for them. They lost 78-73. Again, a close one, so I'd look for this game to be close as well.
Yeah, I think it will be pretty close. I mean, they held William Penn for a little while, and then they kind of lost at the end, just pretty much just like us. So I think we're a pretty evenly matched team. I think William Woods are going to come out and they're going to shoot the ball pretty well at the beginning. That's pretty much all I saw from them in warm-ups, is they like to shoot the 3-ball. So it should be a pretty even matchup.
And like you said, 2 of those 4 losses have came against, like you mentioned, William Penn University, which we have played, and Missouri Valley, who we just saw a few days prior to going to Fort Wayne. So this should be an interesting matchup. Again, both of those games were close. As we're getting set to go, Owls in their home white, Lynx in the road black, as it will be won by the Owls, as they'll have the first possession of the game coming from David Johnson Jr. Now here comes the Owls on their first possession. Gauze now with it down low to Kimball. He cannot finish. Powell pulls down the board, and here comes the Lynx back the other way for their first possession. Crumble now with it. and guarded very closely by Gauze. Wants a screen, goes to the right side of it by Powell, drives baseline, thinks twice about it, now out to midcourt here for Powell. Powell has it poked away here by the Owls, and Johnson, he's going to have a fast break opportunity as he hands it to Curry, and Curry will lay it up and in for the first 2 points.
It really just was a careless turnover there for Julian Powell. I mean, he tried to do a little half spin right there, and it just got poked right away from it. A little too easy, just got an easy bucket there for Curry on the other end.
Right now with it at the top of the key, looks to the right wing now, and Crumble guarded by Gauze as he finds Tyler. Tyler from the left wing from downtown. He'll bury one home. So, like we said, Trayvon Tyler getting the scoring start here from behind the arc.
Just one of those shots where I don't know how it goes in, but it goes in pretty much every time for Trayvon Tyler. There's just a falling out of bounds 3-point jumper that just swishes every time. I don't get it.
Gauze now with it. Bounce passes one down low to David Johnson Jr. He's their man as the star goes baseline, puts up a reverse layup. It's going to be blocked by Powell, and then last touched out of bounds on the baseline by David Johnson. So it'll give the ball right back to the Lynx.
Johnson's he's very athletic. I mean, he's had a couple games where he's scored over 20, so he's really the guy that we need to shut down. I think putting Julian Powell on him at the beginning, 2 big guys that are extremely athletic, I think they pretty much cancel each other out here.
And also for David Johnson, he ranks in the top 20 in total blocks as he's got 26, and then blocks per game. He's 18th in the country in that, so he can really get up and kind of attempt the shot as well. As Latham has it on the left wing with 4 seconds on the shot clock. Feeds it down low to Powell. Powell turn around, catch and shoot, and hits it at the buzzer. His little go-to move there pays off for Julian Powell.
I really haven't seen him do that move a whole lot. It's something I really want to see more, just a turnaround fadeaway, Dirk Nowitzki style. I mean, it goes in, so just let him shoot that a little more to let him get in that position.
As Curry takes a 3 from the right wing. No, ball's loosened on the floor into the hands of Latham Jr. As now he's trying to go behind the back there, but I think Curry, who missed the shot coming down, is going to draw a foul at midcourt.
Yeah, it was just a good push ahead there by Latham. Just fortunately comes up with a drawing a foul, or else that would have been a turnover going the other way.
5-2, Lynx on top here in the 17 and a half minutes left to play in the first half. And they'll throw it into Montez Crumble. But Gauze really playing some defense here for the Owls. As Crumble now with it at the top of the key, driving into the lane, picks up his dribble, finds Tyler. Tyler on the left wing, takes a step back 3 from the same spot. This time it's too strong, and it's going to be pulled down by Curry. Here come the Owls back the other way. Gauze with it now at the top of the key, looks left side lane, now trying to drive in, but is going to be called for a carry, and that's kind of another uncostly turnover by the Owls.
Yeah, on the other end, we need a better shot there than what we got for Trayvon Tyler. I mean, he got it. We passed him the ball in the lane. It looked like he had maybe one guy to beat to go for a layup, and he decided to just dribble all the way out to the 3-point line and take another fadeaway 3. So it's just something that we need to look into, just getting a better shot than that, because we're very capable of it.
And Crumble now with it on the right wing, and guarded very closely by Gauze. He's now at midcourt. To the right wing now for Tyrone Wright. Down low to Powell. Powell working baseline against David Johnson Jr. Trying to back him down, size up his man. Bounce passes one towards the baseline for Tyler as he drives in and throws up a shot, but it's going to be fouled hard on the play. So Trayvon Tyler, the most confident man out on the floor for the Lynx, goes to the line where he's not as confident as we would probably like him to be.
Yeah, he's really been struggling from the free throw line, which is very surprising for a guy that, I mean, last year he was pretty automatic from the free throw line. He makes that first one there, but like I said, he was, I think it all started with the Olivet Nazarene game, and I think he maybe made two free throws out of maybe 10 attempts. So really just was a terrible shooting night for him.
Very unlikely for Trayvon Tyler, but looks pretty good right there as he makes a pair, as that pushes the lead to 5 here for the Lynx. As here comes the Owls back the other way. Kimball now with it over to Gauze. He looks left to Curry now in the left corner. Back to the top of the key now in Fessler. Hands it off to Curry yet again, guarded by Trayvon Tyler. 13 on the shot clock. As now Fessler with it yet one more time. Hands it off to Gauze. Finds Curry in the left side corner. Bounce passes one down low to Kimball, who was running baseline to David Johnson Jr. He's going to be denied, though, at the rim. But he's going to also get bailed out as well, as Tyrone Wright and Julian Powell are both there for the block.
I'm not sure who they're going to give that foul to. I didn't really see that much contact. I think Tyrone Wright got the block on the play, but the foul's going to go on Julian Powell. That's only his first, so nothing really to worry about.
And the Lynx also over the weekend in Fort Wayne played pretty well, especially against St. Francis staying out of foul trouble. Again, about the 10-minute mark, every starter for the Lynx only had one foul as J.J. Turner checks in for Julian Powell. So we'll see J.J. Turner for the first time, who was in the starting lineup as Tyrone Wright replaced him there.
Yeah, I think when J.J. Turner comes in, he definitely needs to guard the guy at the free throw line. I'm blanking on his name right now. Johnson Jr. I think he definitely, they're two big athletes like that. They're probably similar size, but Julian Powell really towers over Johnson. So I think that's a better matchup for Coach Lepp.
And Turner more in there for a specialty in defense, as now Tyler's going to be called for a traveling violation back on the other end. So that's the first turnover by the Lynx here in this one to give the ball right back to the Owls. 7-2 is our score. 16 minutes left to play in this first half. Again, a long bus ride, about 3.5 hours for us to get here, as Curry now drives into the lane, puts up a floater, can't get it to go. They said that Turner's hands were straight up as he outlets one now to Latham Jr. on the left wing. He's trying to drive baseline but draws a blocking foul. And they will say it was on the floor instead of in the act of shooting, so it'll stay right here. But again, you just pointed it out, so I'll let you announce this.
Yeah, Joseph Gomez is coming in for the first time for the Lynx. Hasn't gotten a lot of playing time, but I mean, Coach Lepp made it clear on the way over here that we're going to get a lot more subs in this game. I mean, if you're doing something wrong on the court, you're coming out. So this is the first we're seeing of Gomez in this game.
That's the first time we've seen him in a while.
Yeah, first time we've seen him in a couple games, really.
Did not play at all in either of the two games over in Fort Wayne, Indiana, as that one's tipped by Crumble, but Gomez runs it down, almost a backcourt violation. Probably could have been, but they say it was tipped as he feeds Tyler. Tyler trying to bounce pass one, down low to Turner. It somehow ends up with Gomez, and the man who just came in making a play, he's going to go to the free throw line for two.
It just bounced into his hands, and he just goes up for it and gets fouled on the play, so he'll be to the line for two shots.
But you got to like his intensity, where he realized that to just go straight up with it.
Yeah, and he did. He set a pretty good screen on Trayvon Tyler. I mean, it gave Tyler just a pretty open look at the basket. He just didn't take the shot. He decided to dump it off to Turner, but he misses the first free throw right there, and he still has another chance right here.
And that is the fourth team foul going against the Owls already here in the first 4.5 minutes of this ball game. Lynx only have one. Gomez with one more at the free throw line as he misses a pair. Not something that Coach Lepp is going to be pleased about there. So here come the Owls back the other way. They trail by 5. 7-2 is our score. As Brookins has it at the top of the key. Looking left, he's double teamed. Now on the wing, left wing, trying to drive in on Trayvon Tyler. Dishes it off down low to David Johnson Jr., who tried to slam one home, but he could not. Too strong. Here comes Montez Crumble with the rebound. Out to Tyler. Tyler thought about a three. No. Drives into the lane. No look pass to Latham Jr. in the left side corner for three. No. Rattles in and out for the Lynx as it's going to be pulled down by the Owls. Here they come back the other way. Brookins now with it as he gives it to Walker. Walker drives baseline, and he'll put it up and in with the left hand off the glass.
Really good play there from Walker, just splitting the defense, going up and under, pretty much in the air, just with a nice finish.
7-4 now is the score as Turner with it at the top of the key looks right for Montez Crumble. Crumble finds Joseph Gomez. Gomez from downtown, no, in and out once again. Two good shots by the Lynx, could not get him to fall as now Tyler pokes that one away into the hands of Crumble. As he's got numbers, finds Crumble now, and Crumble just going easy to the basket right down the right side lane.
Yeah, really was a great play there from the Lynx. Good find there from Tyler because everyone expected the lob to J.J. Turner, but then the trailer, Crumble just wide open.
As now Curry kind of knocked Gomez to the floor, but instead they find Brookins, and he takes a three from the right side corner. No. Ball's tipped in the air. Outlet to Latham Jr. to Trayvon Tyler. And Tyler will lay it up and in with the left hand. And now already there's going to be a timeout taken here by James Hayes, the head coach for the Owls in his third season. He wants to talk things over because he does not like what he sees so far.
Yeah, I mean, they're not playing bad. I mean, it just seems like we're knocking down shots, and we're getting some easy layups, so that's something they can work on, definitely. But on the other end, I think our defense is playing pretty magnificent right now. I mean, David Johnson Jr. hasn't scored yet. He's had a dunk attempt that got blocked, and then he had missed two free throws. So, I mean, if we're limiting him to that many shots and he's the star player, I mean, that's good defense by us.
That is good defense. We'll have to see if they can keep up this pace. Again, Joseph Gomez into the ballgame for the first time, getting some minutes here in this one. I believe he's going to check out, as well as DeAndre Freeman and LJ Johnson coming into the ballgame for the first time. And an interesting move here. We actually saw Freeman attempt to actually throw down a dunk in warm-ups.
A couple of them, yeah. He's very, very small. And, I mean, LJ Johnson, when he comes into the game, I mean, he's just that spark plug coming off the bench and just can shoot the lights out. I'd say he's probably one of the better three-point shooters on our team. I mean, he's probably one of the best scorers other than Trayvon Tyler and Latham.
As the Lynx,
definitely a good guy to have.
The Lynx go to a 2-3 zone here as, and we're going to have a foul underneath the basket. 11-4 is our score. I did not see who that foul they're going to put that one on. I believe it was going to go on J.J. Turner, so that should be his first, team second here in this one. So the Owls going to inbound underneath their own basket. They still can't find somebody. Now they finally find Walker in the right side corner for three. Instead, he'll back it out and set up the offense here with 15 on the shot clock. Walker over to Marshall. Marshall tries to kick one down low to Whitlock, and he ends up making that one with an easy two-footer, 11-6, as Johnson comes back the other end. And like you said right there, catch and shoot from behind the arc, and he's a dagger.
It was just a nice little dribble pull-up there by Johnson. I mean, just no hesitation, just goes right into the three-point shot.
And you were talking about if the best three-point shooter on the team, I'd have to agree with you on that shot right there. As Walker trying to feed Whitlock down low yet again, and he could not corral it out of bounds, and it's another turnover here by the Lynx, or by the Owls here in this one.
We're just doing a good job of overwhelming them. I mean, we're catching them off guard with switching into this zone with the smaller lineup. But, I mean, just when we go into a zone like this with that quick of a team, I mean, with Freeman and Crumble up top, I mean, who are you going to try to blow by? I mean, there's no getting around those two.
As Turner across the court to the right wing for Johnson, who drives in. It ends up hitting off the rim and then off him. Wanted a foul, didn't get one. The Owls in transition as Walker had it, but he stopped right at the right wing, as now they hand it back out to Brookins. Over to Walker yet again. Walker on the right wing. This 2-3 zone giving the Owls some fits here in this one. And I know, Adam, you've talked about it from time to time. Just a new look by the Lynx every time as Brookins knockdowns the three right in front of the Lynx bench. But you called it. You want to see some change here from Coach Lepp and his squad.
Yeah, I think we definitely have the athletes to run a 2-3 zone. I think, it's a good zone to have just because, I mean, it gives us fresh legs out there because it doesn't take as much wear and tear as there is. LJ Johnson going to get called for a travel there, but I mean, our guys won't get as tired running 2-3 zone, and it's better in the passing lanes. I mean, we can pick off more passes that way, and I mean, we have Julian Powell in the middle for rim protection, him or Tyrone Wright or even Roy Nesbitt. So it's just like we have the size, let's use it.
Well, here comes Trayvon Tyler back into the ball game for Montez Crumble to kind of give him a breather. And usually it's the other way around, but Tyler taking the first sitting minutes here is, like you said, trying to get a hand on that one. It does. Turner or Powell was there. Tipped out of bounds. It'll stay with the Owls on their side of the floor. We lead it 14-9 with right at 12 minutes left to play in this first half. Again, Lynx doing a pretty good job keeping, like you said, the Owls off the glass.
Yeah, they're really, I don't think they've allowed an offensive rebound yet. I mean, we've had maybe a couple, but it's just like, it seems like we come up with a defensive rebound almost every time. And on the other end, we get an offensive rebound or we make the shot. So everything's really going our way.
And that was something we really struggled with over the weekend as Walker from the right wing from downtown. No, ball's tipped in the air. Turner could not corral it as it stays in it with William Woods. And they're going to have a fresh 30 as number 11, Jesse Frost-Dixon, was there to tip it out for with Turner.
It was a good play there by Frost-Dixon, just sticking with the play, just trying to get that ball, and just slips right out of J.J. Turner's hand, so they're going to have a fresh possession here.
William Woods now with it on their side of the floor. Marshall feeds it down low to Frost-Dixon. Count the basket and the foul, as I believe that one's going to go on the big man, Julian Powell. So that'll put Frost-Dixon at the line for one shot. Try to complete an old-fashioned three-point play here.
Yeah, I think Tyrone Wright's going to come in here. Or he's not going to get Julian Powell, actually. They're going to get J.J. Turner and L.J. Johnson. Latham comes back in the game as well, but it's kind of an interesting move. That's either the second or third foul on Julian Powell, so it's kind of interesting that they don't have the projected up here as he gets a monster rebound, but I mean, it's a risky move keeping him in the game.
They find Tyler right away. Tyler catch and shoot, no. Offensive rebound, no, by Powell. Trying to go straight up with it, and he's going to be fouled hard, I believe, by Whitlock. who is down there. And, you know, for Whitlock, he's actually got some locks on top of his head.
He's got a lot of hair, and it just doesn't have a headband or anything. As Roy Nesbitt just tries to step on the sticky pad over there to get the shoes a little more traction, and the sticky pad came with him when he tried to take a step. So
a little too much traction.
Yeah, a little too much traction. He was walking onto the floor with it. So I'm not sure who he's going to get. I think he's going to get Julian Powell a breather if he makes this free throw, and he does.
So 2-2 from the line goes Julian Powell. Again, Roy Nesbitt checks into the ball game. Lynx lead by 5, 16-11. Here with 11 and a half minutes left to play in this first half. The Owls kind of making a little bit of a run here. The Lynx have switched back to man-to-man. As now it will be Walker. Walker down low to Marshall to Whitlock. He's double teamed by Latham and Nesbitt. As they feed it back out to Frost Dixon. He's trying to drive in. Finds Marshall. Marshall slips a little bit. Ball's loose on the floor. Still loose as Tyrone Wright is on the floor. Finds Freeman, and the Lynx going the other way off the turnover. Freeman trying to go coast to coast. He's going to be fouled, though, going to the line as Whitlock might have looked like he had a clean block right there.
I think it was more body contact right there. I mean, he definitely got the ball, all ball on the shot, but I think it was the body contact before Freeman went up, so he's going to be at the line for 2.
And Freeman, 3 points over the weekend, 1 for 1 shooting, as it came on a lone 3, as he cannot hit his first free throw here. And we kind of got here a little early today, Adam, and you were talking about we were just kind of shooting around, having fun. Heck, we even shot around for a little bit, not something we get to do often, but again, you said that you wanted to see them work on their free throws a little more.
I mean, it's an easy shot to do. I think I only saw about 1 or 2 guys doing it, so it's just, that's something you're never a perfect free throw shooter, so it's always something that you need to work on. As I think William Wood's going to get another turnover right there.
They sure are.
They just great defense once again by the Lynx. We're coming off of screens well. I mean, we're talking, so that definitely helps the defense out.
And they just kind of try to throw it down low to Whitlock, and nobody was home as he just kind of throws it out of bounds. Freeman did hit 1 of 2, so it makes it 17-11 as Freeman now with it on the right wing as Nesbitt trying to post up down low, drives baseline. He feeds it to him. Nesbitt going to the rack. He's going to be denied, though, by Whitlock. And here come the Owls back the other way. They had Curry wide open in the paint, but they did not see him, was Frost Dixon. Instead, they find Brookins, and he buries the 3. And he's kind of giving the little windmill action there going back down the court.
This is not the team you want to taunt against, because, I mean, we got a guy on our team that'll do anything and everything to win a ball game. As you see him take a big contested jumper right there and try to get his own offensive rebound. So we need to get a better possession than that, definitely. I mean, Trayvon Tyler just tried to do it himself right there, but definitely had another open guy on there because 2 guys were guarding him. So we need a better possession.
See what they come to right here on the defensive end. 17-14 is our score as they feed Whitlock down low. Turn around right hand. No, just a tad bit too strong. Nesbitt there for the board as here come the Lynx back in transition. Tyler now finds Latham Jr. on the right corner. He's guarded by Brookins. Kicks it back to Nesbitt. Nesbitt now over to Freeman on the left wing. 17-14, 15 on the shot clock as Freeman to Tyrone Wright. Wright thought about a 3. Instead, will hand it off to Tyler. Tyler now trying to drive into the lane. Has it poked away, though. The ball's loose on the floor into the hands of Freeman. Freeman with 6 seconds drives into the lane, puts it up off the glass, can't get it to go. Gets his own miss, and they're actually going to call a jump ball as him and Brookins were fighting for it. Possession arrow in favor of William Woods, and we're going back the other way.
Another sub here. That's going to be J.J. Turner coming in for Nesbitt, and this is the first we're going to see of Isaiah Bowers as well, along with Bindum, who's coming in for Freeman. And Trayvon Tyler's going to take a seat as well, so definitely just throwing different looks out there. I mean, we're just trying to see if a 5 can work for us. I mean, we still have a lead by 3, but now the possession area got switched around or something, as it seems like the Lynx have the ball now.
Possession arrow was definitely pointing in favor of William Woods.
I don't think they changed it because, I mean, they won the jump ball. So it should be our possession. Because I don't remember a jump ball in between.
I don't think so either.
So, yeah, it should be our ball.
Never know what you're going to see going on the road like this. You've seen a jump ball being changed. We saw somebody foul out over the weekend and then get it called back, which is not something you see too often. I've never seen anybody lose track of fouls, especially when they're on the board. But you never know. You see it all on the road. As the Lynx sits inbound with a fresh 30 underneath their own basket. They throw it into Bowers. Bowers trapped in the corner. He's going to drive baseline, draw some contact, but puts it up off the glass. Denied, though, by Whitlock. As, again, the Owls, a very good defensive team, especially when it comes to blocks. Top 20 as a team in the country in blocking. As Brookins now over to Frost Dixon. That one's tipped by Turner. Still finds Whitlock, though. He tries to finish over Tyrone Wright. He cannot. Turner pulls down the board, and here come the Lynx back the other way. Look for Bowers, though, in transition to kind of stop and pop at any moment in time, as now Latham in the right corner drives baseline, but drew contact, driving right past around his man. And so he is going to go to the line because it's going to be a 1-on-1 opportunity here.
And this is definitely the guy that we want at the free throw line at Darnell Latham Jr. Probably the best one on the team as of the last 3 games. Definitely, I don't think he's missed one. So it's just definitely something we like to have on our team. And I jinxed him right there as he misses one. So
it always happens to us.
It always happens to us. It happened to me when I was calling the game with Daniel on Friday. I mean, it seems like, every time I said they're a good free throw shooter, they miss a free throw.
17-14 is the score. Lynx still lead by 3. 8.5 minutes to play. As Gauze, who throws up a shot, a little floater into the lane, kind of drew some contact. No foul called. Bindum pulls down the board for the Lynx as he's trying to drive right past Gauze, but he loses it out of bounds. Actually, they're going to say Gauze stepped out of bounds after the steal, so they'll give the ball back to the Lynx here in this one. Awfully close right there next to the scores table.
Yeah, very, very good defense there by Gauze, just picking up Bynum pretty much full court and just sliding his feet, playing really good defense, not reaching, and then he comes up with the steal. Just unfortunately for them, steps on the out of bounds line.
And has to be careful there. You never know how the officials are going to call these things. As he finds Turner, he drives in left side lane out to Latham Jr. Now he's going to be called for a traveling violation. And I think that was a makeup call. I don't think Latham traveled, but I do think Turner traveled on the possession, the right before he gave it to Latham.
Yeah, and Latham's going to take a seat right now as Montez Crumble comes into the ball game. So really just not a pure scorer on the floor right now for the Lynx. No Tyler, no L.J. Johnson, no Julian Powell, no Latham. So it's just like we should see a lot of ball movement with this lineup. Just a lot of shooters on the floor. So just look for that on the offensive end.
Frost Dixon now trying to back down right, down low. He cannot. Kicks it out to Curry. Curry now to Brookins at the top of the key with 7 seconds on the shot clock. He's going to pull up right over Montez Crumble. This time it's no good. And now we're going to have a foul 90 feet away from the basket. I believe it could go on David Johnson Jr.
Yeah, it might. He just came back into the game, and it is going to go on him. I'm not sure what number of foul that was, but he did take a seat for a pretty long time for a guy that carries a lot of the scoring load for them.
And he's back in there. I believe that foul was on him. That was his second. And team's 8th. So Wright going to go to the line for a 1-on-1 opportunity. Lynx lead by 3. 17-14. As Tyrone Wright can't hit the first of a free throw there. As Johnson pulls down the board trying to go coast to coast there. Crumble and Tyrone Wright were both there. And he loses it out of bounds. A turnover by the Owls. And kind of seems like this Lynx team has David Johnson Jr., the best player for the Owls, kind of frustrated right now.
Yeah, he's definitely an athlete. I think if you could compare him to anybody, it's probably like a Blake Griffin type of player. He's a big guy that's very athletic. He's going to do whatever he can to just try to dunk the basketball to get that momentum on their team as J.J. Turner knocks down a jumper, but it seems like we're exposing his weaknesses. I don't think he's that good of a jump shooter, so it's just like we're giving him space on the outside because it's just like you can beat us by shooting, but you're not going to drive in and try to get it done.
19-14 after that basket by Turner. Here come the Owls back the other way as they feed Walker down low. The reverse layup high off the glass, and he'll get that one to fall. So it's still a 3-point lead for the Lynx. And like you said, no real scoring threat on the floor. But if I had to pick one, I'd have to pick Montez Crumble as Turner dishes down low to Bynum. A little hesitation as he a little up and under move as Trenard Bynum, I believe, gets his first points of the year right there.
Yeah, he really hasn't been playing that much. He played in the JV game along with Joseph Gomez and Nesbitt the other night. So, maybe that just ups the confidence just a little more when he gets more minutes and gets more playing time. He did score quite a bit in that game as well.
He comes up with a steal. Comes up with a steal. Him and Bowers come up with it. Now we're going to have a foul going the other way, as this is where it kind of makes the game a little extra longer, as I believe that's going to send Turner to the line now.
Yeah, will send Turner to the line.
And Trayvon Tyler and L.J. Johnson set to check in. They're coming to get Bindum and Bowers,
who've played pretty good minutes. For guys that really haven't played that much this year, when they come in and play good defense, and we're putting points on the board as well. So, it's just kind of one of those things that we need to have more and more subs into the game. Joseph Gomez is going to come in for J.J. Turner if he knocks down the second one. But Gomez as well, he's a guy that's very capable. He's on varsity for a reason. So it's just, he can play. He kind of balled out the other day in the JV game as well. When he plays down low, he's just a different threat down there because he has such a good jump shot. So it's good to see him playing some varsity minutes.
Turner makes a pair, and it makes it 23-16 now. 6:15 left to play in this first half. Lynx leading the way over the William Wood Owls here in this one, as Fessler now with it, as we have a foul away from the basketball. I believe
Trayvon
Tyler this time with Curry, kind of a hold. And the officials doing a fairly good job of explaining things to these guys here today.
Which is always something you want to hear. Because if you're committing a foul, he wants to know what he did, just in case. So he doesn't get called for it again. So he got the explanation there from the official. So good for them.
As Walker now feeds Curry. Curry in midair has to find Gauze. Gauze with the baseline jumper, no good. As Fessler will knock it out of bounds, going for an offensive board, and he'll give the ball right back to this Lynx team. Here in this one, again, 19 fouls for the Owls, only 4 for your Lynx here in 14 minutes. So doing a better job on the defensive end.
Very disciplined, I'd say. We're just playing good defense, and for how good a defense that we're playing, I'm surprised that we're barely winning this game. It's very reachable, but we're playing some pretty lockdown D.
The offense has not been there. It's usually one or the other for this Lynx team. Tyler with it now with 8 seconds on the shot clock. On the left wing, picks up his dribble, finds Gomez down low, who is wide open, kicks it out to Johnson for 3. No. Crumble tips it back out, but they're going to call an over and back on Montez Crumble. And an interesting call right there, kind of made you jump out of your seat up here.
I really don't think that should have been called. There was no position being held, and Crumble just reaches over and tries to tip it back. So not sure about that. But Joseph Gomez, he gets the ball right underneath. He could have taken the layup, but he noticed the defense was collapsing on him, so just kick it out to L.J. Johnson for a 3. It unfortunately just didn't go in.
Gauze now with it over to Fessler. To Walker in the left corner for the Owls. Now back to Gauze. Over to Curry. Curry guarded by Tyler. He's going to drive baseline. Instead, thinks twice of it. Now bounce passes one to Gauze as Johnson almost came up with that steal. Back to Curry. Over to Gauze. Gauze had a wide open 3. Instead drives into the baseline. He can't hit. Johnson Jr. with a tip back. And that one will fall. So that's his first points of the ball game here in this one.
It's really like if you're going to call an over and back on Montez Crumble on the other end, you got to call that as well. It was very similar plays. Just it went our way.
Now we're going to have an offensive foul going against Trayvon Tyler. So that's going to be his second as he drove into the right side of the lane to find Crumble. And again, not something you want to see here for the Lynx. Their star player already has 2 fouls.
Yeah, and Bynum comes back in for him along with J.J. Turner for Joseph Gomez. Trayvon Tyler just very upset. Going over, just kind of punching the mat back there. He's just pacing him back and forth, just very upset with how he's playing right now. He's not really making a lot of shots. He hit that one deep 3, but that's about it for him.
And Tyler's usually one of those guys that it takes him a little bit to find it sometimes, but when he finds it, man, the Owls better look out. He's unguardable when he finds it.
Yeah, when he finds it. Now we got L.A. Bogan, who's out with a foot injury, going back and just try to calm him down a little bit, tell him it's going to be okay. We still got a long game ahead of us.
Fessler takes a jumper, no good, but gets his own miss. Crumble tried to poke it away, but they're going to call a foul. So that should send, no, that's only the team's 6th. So that should be, they will say now team 7th. So that should send Fessler to the line for a 1-on-1 opportunity.
So Latham Jr. coming back in for Crumble, who just picked up the reach-in foul. Once again, we apologize. We're not sure what number foul it is because we're not told on the board. So we kind of have to guess. I believe that's Crumble's second. because he had that over and back and then that one right there. So it was maybe 2 fouls in the matter of maybe a minute and a half. So he's going to have to take a seat for a while.
And Fessler's second one in as well. So 2 of 2 from the line. Go the Owls, and it's now 23-19 with 4:15 left to play in this first half. Again, Bynum running the point here, working on Gauze. He'll pick up his dribble at the top of the key, feeds right at the free throw line, handoff, a little give and go with Bynum, and he drives in left side lane, and we have a offensive foul going against L.J. Johnson. Not even Bynum or Tyrone Wright. Interesting call there.
I didn't even pay attention to J.J. Turner. It was on L.J. Johnson. I didn't even pay attention to him on the play. I mean,
he was nowhere near
the ball, so it's just, I'm not sure why that was called, but I guess the official saw something that I didn't.
As Brookins now takes a jumper, no good. And we're going to have an over and back called there on Fessler, so you get your wish. They call it on the other end of the floor, staying consistent here in this one, so that should now put the Lynx back at the line for 2 shots.
This is where the game gets extremely long, like you said, so now we're going to have to stop the game once again, just go all the way down the floor, shoot 2 free throws, and we're going to be seeing that for the next about 4 minutes. So hopefully the second half is not the same, but if it's close like this, it's going to be the same.
That puts Wright at the line. First free throw, no good, short. And again, this has really been an issue for the Lynx. Even if they play well, it seems like they're cursed at the free throw line.
It's definitely been their kryptonite. I mean, they cannot knock one down. As Tyrone Wright knocks one down right there to expand it to a 4-point lead. But just think of all the games that we would have won if we make free throws. I mean, Olivet would have been one. William Penn would have been one. Maybe a game over the weekend probably would have been one.
Oh, St. Francis for sure.
There's going to be another foul on the play.
Looks like we have a hold going against the Lynx on Tyrone Wright. So Joseph Gomez will check back in. I believe that's Wright's second foul as well.
Second or third. I mean, we cannot tell, but going to be back at the line for a 1-and-1 is Frost Dixon. But something I've really noticed about the calls, I mean, they're not really calling like shooting fouls. They're all like off the ball, on screens, just kind of holds. So it's weird to see that it's happening off the ball so much.
And Jesse Frost Dixon at the line, a 6'6" junior from Plainfield, New Jersey, hits his first. Has one more coming. Actually, he's waiting for a high five from his teammates.
Waiting for the high fives. He's just sitting in the middle of the lane, just with his hands out. The teammates were not paying attention.
Maybe he didn't buy him dinner one night. Who knows? But he does knock down a pair, make it 24-21, and it's back to a 3-point lead here for the Lynx with 3:30 left to play in the first half. Bynum now with it, guarded very closely by Marshall. Over to Latham Jr., who's guarded by Brookins. Junior now running across the court to find Turner. Turner catch and shoot from behind the arc and buries it. His interesting shot there. Kind of hesitated a little bit, but still knocked it down.
Yeah, I thought he was kind of done there just because he hesitated like that, but it was a good shot from J.J. Turner. Something that we've seen him shoot more and more each game is that 3-point shot.
Kind of reminds me of like an Honest Akumbo as Marshall feeds it to Whitlock down low. The turnaround right hand gets it to go. But Honest Akumbo, I mean, he's not known for his 3-point shooting, but every now and then he can knock down a few.
Hey, who were you trying to say?
Honest Antetokounmpo.
Giannis Antetokounmpo.
There we go.
There we go.
I know, a lot of letters put together in there.
As his name is the alphabet, so.
There you go. Even makes it a little easier for me then. I'll just call him the alphabet. But Gomez drove into the lane, drew a foul in the act of shooting, so he'll go to the line for 2 shots.
Or you can call him the Greek Freak, I guess. That's the more known nickname for Giannis.
Okay. I mean, it was trying to say his name or go, hey, that really tall guy for the Bucks, the Milwaukee Bucks.
Yeah. I would have known what you're talking about.
I know you would have. 27-24, and Gomez at the line. Second one off the back of the rim and out, as that one's last touched out of bounds by J.J. Turner. And they are going to give the ball to... No, they're going to say it was last touched by the Owls. So it's going to stay with the Lynx. Now the official's going to talk it over. One official pointed towards the Owls, the other official pointed towards the Lynx. So, well, then they still did it again. They even...
Yeah, one official pointed back our direction, the other one pointed the other way. It's like, make up your mind already.
They went to talk about it, and then they seemed like they got it confirmed, and they do say it's the Lynx basketball, but the other official still pointed the other direction, as now that one's thrown into the backcourt. Good thing Bynum did not touch that one. 28-24, 2.5 minutes to play in this first half. Lynx up by 4 as Bynum now draws a foul at the top of the key. That's going to go on Frost Dixon.
Another foul off the ball. Really, the foul was, I'm surprised they're calling it on that, like, Bynum is shooting the basketball, because I thought they called that for J.J. Turner was coming up to set the screen. That's really what I saw, so kind of an interesting call right there as he misses the first one. I mean, I gotta say, they're fouling a ton, but it's working out for them because we're not hitting the free throws, so we really should be up maybe 10 or 12 in this ball game, but we're just not hitting them, not hitting the easy shots.
If not more, 29-24. Again, like you said, it's been the Lincoln's kryptonite basically all season long, as now Gauze trying to find Dixon. He cannot. It's tipped by Bynum and into the hands of Turner. So the Lynx coming back the other way, up by 5. Johnson now driving into the lane, puts up a floater and uses the whole cylinder, but gets it to go.
There's another great play there from L.J. Johnson. We've seen him do that so many times this year. When he started off, he didn't play that much. He was just kind of like getting the same amount of minutes that like Isaiah Bowers is, and then he comes in and just has this like great shooting game, and then he's constantly playing now. He's a great scorer. So maybe we see that from other guys that are getting some play time tonight.
Gauze now with it, trying to drive in, kicks one out to the corner, but nobody's there yet again. He's trying to find a Lynx defender sitting on the bench, and he does. So that'll give the ball back to the Lynx right here. They lead at 31-24, minute 45 left to play now. And it seems though the Lynx playing a more aggressive defense and really kind of trying to keep them contained in this one.
Yeah, they're really just trying to force the turnovers, and I'm really liking the defense. We're not giving up easy layups. And that's not a good pull. That's not a good call right there. I'm pretty sure Gomez comes up kind of limping. I think he slipped on the floor, but they ended up calling a foul. I'm not sure who was on. I'm pretty sure it was against Frost Dixon, but I'm pretty sure he just kind of slipped on the floor. There's no foul committed.
I thought so as well, and you could see James Hayes, their head coach, was about to take off his suit jacket over there, kind of throw it down. But again, Gomez misses the first.
Just keep fouling us. Foul us until we make 2 free throws consistently.
And you hate to say it, but if you want a way to beat us,
if you want to beat this team, foul them constantly.
Oh, because we'll outshoot anybody, we'll outplay anybody, we'll be more physical. But when it comes to the free throw line,
we're not doing the easy. We're not doing like the fundamental stuff. We're a flashy team. We go for the flashy shots, the dunks, everything like that, but we can't make a free throw, so we're not doing the fundamentals of the game.
Gauze now with it, feeds Whitlock down low as the double team was there, but Whitlock still couldn't finish underneath the basket. He was wide open from about a foot away, couldn't finish just a tad bit too strong off the glass, and here come the Lynx back the other way. We're under a minute to play, 32-24. Lynx up by 8. It's kind of been where it's stayed for the most part. It really hasn't gone past much of 8. As now Freeman with it, winding down the shot clock. Here they come as the double screen is set at the top of the key. He goes to the right wing to Turner. Turner catch and shoot from the top of the key, and yes, J.J. Turner wears number 3 for a reason, and he buries home with 3 right there. Game clock still running as the ball's just left right there on the baseline, 35-24, as they wasted probably, 10 seconds trying to get that ball in?
Yeah, the shot clock was going to be on if they inbounded the ball like how they're supposed to, but instead it's turned off just because of it.
As Brookins takes a long 3, no good, but David Johnson's there for the offensive putback. 35-26, 4 seconds to go. Freeman with it at the top of the key, takes a step back, 3, no. Off the front of the rim, Turner gets the offensive rebound, but did not get it off in time. So that's going to do it here at halftime. 35-26 is our score. Lynx lead the way here in Fulton, Missouri against William Woods University. The Owls in this one. Adam, talk to me here a little bit. It was a pretty good, solid first half for the Lynx. Talk to me a little bit about their defense. What are you seeing defensively from the Lynx that you're really liking so far in this first half?
I really like the zone that we put in with the second unit like that. I mean, when you have guys like Freeman and Bynum up at the top, I mean, they're hard to get by, and then you come back in. If you go inside, then you got Roy Nesbitt underneath. I mean, you're not going to shoot over him, or you're not going to go around him. So he's basically like another defender out there because how big he is. So I like that defensive strategy. And then the man-to-man with the starters, I mean, it works pretty well, but we need to switch it up. We need the starters to run the zone, the bench to run the man-to-man, just because they'll know what's coming if we put in our subs. They'll really know what defense is coming at them, so they can game plan like that. So something we need to look at.
Now let's switch it over to the offensive side of things. Again, only 35 points, not terrible in one half, but obviously not the greatest that we've seen in a half by this Lynx team. What do they have to do to shoot the ball a little bit better in the second half?
Well, other than make a free throw, I'd say get some better shot selection. I mean, we're taking tough contested layups. I mean, tough contested three-pointers. Just move the ball, keep moving the ball, and you'll get an open shot. I mean, and going back to the free throws just because it irks me so much. I mean, we could have 50 points right now, easy, if we make free throws.
It'd be close.
It'd be close. I think, yeah, 15 points, maybe. I mean, that's close. I mean,
it'll be interesting to see what the stats are at halftime. We're going to have to go down and get them because they're all the way across the other side of the gym, and we're up in the rafters. So it's going to take us about 5 minutes to get down there. So I'll give Adam a little bit of a head start right here. We're going to head to break. Don't go anywhere, though. More Lynx basketball coming your way as they lead it at halftime here in Fulton, Missouri, 35-26 over the hometown team, the Owls, in this one. More Lynx basketball coming your way, and as you guys are listening to Lincoln College basketball right here on 89X.
Allison is perfect. I mean, she'd never tell you that. She's humble and perfect. She likes everyone. She even likes her untidy roommate's weird guinea pig. Allison, wait, are you texting and driving? Allison, no. That's the exact opposite of what I was just saying about you. Why, Allison? Why? Texting and driving makes good people look bad. Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Hi, my name is Vera Ruff, and I'm here with Alyssa Swestall, and she is a Disability Service Coordinator here on campus. And Alyssa, thank you for joining us. So what is it that you do here on campus?
So I am the Disability Services Coordinator on campus, which means that I take a look at documentation presented to me from students that are hoping to have accommodations in their classes and on their exams. And then based on that documentation, we can provide accommodations, we can provide support services, we can provide alternative versions of textbooks and other alternative formats for learning materials. So pretty much whatever a student needs while they're here on campus, if it's related to their disability, I'm the person.
You also run the Access Program. So what is the Access Program?
The Access Program is a program that's housed within the Office for Disability Services, but it's actually not just closed for students with disabilities. We are opening the program up to serve any student that would like to be a better student. So the Access Program includes a couple of different features, the first of which being Access Prep Week. So Access Prep Week starts off with students coming to campus the week before their freshman year, or whatever their first year on campus is going to be if they're a transfer student. And they get to spend that week sort of doing College Prep 101. So they get to meet me, they get to work with other students in the program, they get to meet our student leaders, and we get to do all kinds of fun stuff on campus. So we'll go on campus tours, we'll talk a little bit about some basic skills that students are going to need while they're here. We'll talk about the tutoring center and take a tour, have students meet a couple of our teachers and a couple of our faculty members, so that way when classes get rolling, they feel prepared. Additionally, during Access Prep Week, we do some discussions about the ways to be a successful student. We talk about time management, we talk about study skills and note-taking habits. So pretty much whatever students are going to need to get ready to roll, we try to cover during that week. The next feature of the Access Program starts that first week when it becomes time to start classes where students come and meet with me 2 to 3 times a week, depending on the student and what they want to talk about. But during those meetings, we'll sit down for about a half an hour and we'll talk about class. We'll talk about life. We'll talk about grades and assignments and things that students are experiencing on campus that they are trying to work through. We talk about the homework assignments that are giving them stress and the ways that they can best prepare for their exams. We sometimes will encounter some situations with instructors that we need to work through. So I help them sort of problem solve their way to being great students. Another feature of the Access program, which is usually the parents' favorite feature of the Access program, is that students who are enrolled in the program get the benefit of having an extended outreach to their families. So we sort of keep that accountability going both in campus and off campus. That way students can have that sense of camaraderie and community and connectedness, both on campus and off. So parents will get updates regarding grades, regarding some goals that we're setting within our meetings, regarding the progress that we're making, and sometimes the struggles that we're having. So that way, if somebody at home has a creative solution, we can go ahead and use that too.
I'm Vera, and I'm here with Alyssa Swystall, and she is a Disability Service Coordinator here on campus. So what kind of activities do you do with the Access students?
I've really wanted to have an opportunity for students to work together a little bit more often, to socialize a little bit more often. So Access study tables are a great way that we're accomplishing that this year, where students are able to sort of hang out and talk and work together on different assignments and projects. And it's been, I think, a pretty successful opportunity. Occasionally, we'll still have group meetings where we'll talk about specific sort of lessons. So we'll talk about preparing for job interviews. We'll sometimes cover stuff with resumes.
Now, you mentioned Access student leaders. So what are the Access student leaders?
Access student leaders are students that have been in the program, who've kind of gotten their feet wet and know what it's about, and who are interested in leadership opportunities, interested in sharing the benefits that they've had in the Access program with other incoming students. So the Access student leaders are going to be there at those study tables. They're going to be around to help support the program. They're going to be faces on campus that a student can go talk to if they're having a problem that they may not want to come to me about.
So what is your favorite part of your job?
Oh my gosh, my favorite part of my job is the students. Absolutely the students. Every day I get to look at my schedule and see which person I get to hang out with that day and who's going to be coming in and what we might get to do. I've always been a huge fan of learning. I'm a lifelong learner. I love learning new things. And so if I can share some of that excitement with a student, if I can motivate a student to feel like they are participating in their education instead of just sort of going through it, that's a good feeling.
Well, thanks for your time, Melissa.
Absolutely.
I've been Vera Roth. Thanks for joining us, and stay tuned for the second half of today's game. Coming up next, you're listening to Lincoln College Basketball on 89X.
My name is Lola Silvestri, and I'm going to be 95 this year. I was very independent. I fell, and I had to have Meals on Wheels. America, let's do lunch.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org. This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
So, I'm a dog, and I'm kind of new to this family, but I've noticed a trend. My humans do this thing where they go around and get all my toys and hide them in this basket, but it's always the same basket, and it's always the same place, and then they act so surprised when I find them, but I'm like, hello, that's where you put it last time. Humans are the worst at hide and go seek.
A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet. Be that person. Adopt. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the ShelterPetProject.org.
I want to thank my mommy for loving me so much, for taking me to the doctor when I broke my foot,
for leaving me alone when I wanted to be alone.
And now, as a grown-up, I'm thankful for being able to take care of you, my dear mom, for taking you to your therapies, for understanding that sometimes you simply want to be alone.
Roles change without us noticing. That's why AARP gives you the information to provide even better care for your loved one. Visit aarp.org/caregiving. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Hi, I found a toy dinosaur over on the playground by Smith Street. It had this phone number on it, and, well, I just wanted to make sure the dinosaur made it back to its little owner.
When I found the little sippy cup, I just had to give you a call. It's for a kid,
I know my son gets super attached to the smallest things, even a fire truck, and I'd be happy to drop it off.
We'd do anything for kids, yet 1 in 6 children in the U.S. struggle with hunger. Help end childhood hunger near you. Learn how at feedingamerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Adopt US Kids presents Multiple Choice Parenting.
You're bringing your daughter to a pop concert. Do you A, wear earplugs?
Isn't this fun, Dad?
I'll have a soft pretzel.
Or B, just roll with it.
Justin! OMG! I love you, Justin! I love you!
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Teens in foster care will love you just the same.
For more information on adoption, visit adoptuskids.org. A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Hey.
Hi, nice neighborhood. You must have a strong community association board.
I don't pay any attention to that stuff.
How do you know the board and community manager are making the right decisions?
I don't, but what can I do?
Connect with CAI.
CA what?
CAI, Community Associations Institute. They're a nonprofit group with free resources for your board, training for community managers, and information for homeowners.
Protect your investment at responsiblecommunities.com.
Today we decided to walk to school. The light counted. 15, 14,
41, 31, 13. We
took a left on Carroll Street. Danny's smart, but he gets distracted.
I
realized he forgot his homework. I hope he doesn't have another bad day at school.
When you can see learning and attention issues from their side, you can be on their side. That's why there's Understood.org, a free resource for the parents of the 1 in 5 kids with learning and attention issues. Go from misunderstanding to Understood.org. Brought to you by Understood and the Ad Council.
If you're a single man under the age of 35, you'd probably like to know what the ladies are looking for on an online dating site. A guy who had a few drinks and later got pulled over for buzzed driving. See, that could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. And doesn't a guy who's back living with his parents but calls them my roommates just scream Mr. Right?
Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzzed driving is drunk driving. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Welcome back here to Anderson Arena, where we are in Fulton, Missouri. Your Lynx lead at halftime by 9, 35-26. We got about 3 minutes to go here before the start of the second half. And one thing I want to point out here is, well, two things really, that Adam made me go down and get the stat sheet. And it's a long walk, so I have to say that on the air because, I have to give him, we have to fight somehow.
I got the starter, so it's equal.
Oh, it's a fair trade-off?
It's a fair trade-off.
I don't know about all that, but, we can go with that in your head. Nah, we're just playing. We're good friends up here. We go back and forth all the time. But also, one thing I want to point out, though, J.J. Turner coming off the bench, you thought, that would kind of not sit well with him in his head, and it sure hasn't, as he's 3 for 3 from the field right now, has not missed, and he has 10 points to lead the way here for the Lynx in that one, as, again, leading scorer right now for the Owls is Brookins with 6. And that's the team high, as, again, the Lynx doing a great job on the defensive end. But, Adam, let's talk about these free throws. Let's put some facts under what we're saying here.
Well, we shot 20 of them. We made 11.
I think that's the most in any half, isn't it?
Yeah, it's got to be our most. I mean, I thought it was going to be a lot lower. I thought we were going to be only in single-digit made free throws. It wouldn't have surprised me at all if we went like 8 for 20. But, I mean only 55%, so nothing to really be excited about. I mean, we have 9 more points if we just make, if we make 5 more, we just expand our lead even more. So it's something that we really need to work on, and something it's really inexcusable. Why can't you make a free shot? It's not that far away. Just make a free throw.
No, you're exactly right. Again, the Lynx kind of doing the most behind the arc as well. Kind of still in that 40% range. Pretty simple math there, 4 for 10. But that's kind of been their norm, right around that area. But what else kind of you point out on the stat sheet that really kind of stands out to you?
We're about 50% for the field and 40% for the three-point line. So that's pretty good for a team stat. That's something that you probably look for. That's definitely something that we need to do. The free throws obviously need to improve. We forced 9 turnovers, so that's not bad. That's pretty good. We had 6 ourselves, so we need to improve on that just a little bit.
And the Lynx not really in foul trouble, but there's a few of them that have 2 or more fouls in that half, and we've seen them. They had to sit a little bit, and I want to go back to J.J. Turner in that category, because Turner came off the bench, and yes, he's been playing well. That kind of forces left to keep him in, but he's got 12 minutes, and I think Latham is the one that leads the way with 13, and he's a starter, but Turner coming back off the bench, kind of interesting to see that he's got the second most minutes.
I think it's a good look for Coach Love, just because, Turner had the hot hand, so it might as well just keep him in the game. as much as you can. He's playing good defense, too, so it's good to have him off our bench, too.
The Owls will have the first possession here to start the second half, 35-26, as David Johnson Jr. goes for a misses, but the ball bats up in the air and comes back down in the rim.
Yeah, he kind of got stuffed by the rim a little bit. He tried to posterize Tyrone Wright, so I won't call it a true poster because he didn't really dunk it, but it definitely was a good play.
As they try to
blocks the alley-oop right there, just a beautiful read.
You say there was a lob right there from Latham Jr. and Julian Powell, and he comes right up with it, and he goes coast to coast, and he's going to draw a foul going into the lane in the act of shooting, so he's going to go to the line. And like you said, the Lynx did a good job on him, only holding him to 4 points in the first half. This is a guy that can really score the basketball well for the Owls, and he's trying to take over here early in the second half.
It definitely looks like we're going to let him, too. I mean, he's going to line for 2 free throws, so he could pick up 4 easy points here in the first minute of the second half. So, I mean, he had the steal on the other end and then came back down on the floor. It just seems like he's just going to try to get his numbers here in the second half.
Did make his first, has one more coming, as the second one rattles home for him as well. And David Johnson Jr. had 11 points in that loss to Park University, so Park University did a good job containing him. The Lynx going to have to do a good job here in the second half as well. Tyler back to Crumble at the top of the key to Tyrone Wright. Trying to hand it back off to Crumble. He does. He drives into the lane, takes a jumper from the free throw line with 1 second on the shot clock. No good. Ball's loose on the floor as David Johnson and Julian Powell fight for it, but they're going to call a traveling violation going against David Johnson Jr. before the timeout.
Yeah, I think it was a good call there because he got the ball and then he rolled over onto his back. So, yeah, that's obviously a travel. And it was a good call there by the official.
And standing right in front of him, as they've been doing a pretty good job here for the game. I know the officials are going to miss a few here and there as they throw it into Powell. Powell trying to back down his man, and they're going to call a traveling violation this time on Julian Powell, as Coach Lepp and L.J. Johnson cannot believe it from the Lynx bench.
Because that really wasn't the referee that should have called that. There was a ref on the baseline, but he called a foul. He didn't call a travel, but the ref on the sideline that didn't have the better angle had the travel called. So I think Julian Powell's going to pick up another foul right here. So that'll be his third, because he had 2 in that first half.
Here comes J.J. Turner, the man who's been lights out for the Lynx here, at least in the first half anyway, as he's going to come in and get David Johnson Jr. He's going to have to guard him, and that's kind of the interesting move there. I know Johnson's not the biggest guy on the floor, but you have our biggest guy, Powell, kind of guarding him as they throw it in right to him, and he goes right to the rack and finishes too easy, just like that for David Johnson Jr.
I think he finally woke up, at least. I mean, only 4 points in the first half, already has 6 in the second with maybe 2 minutes gone off the clock. So it's good for him just to get back on the board. It's a good look for William Woods.
As Latham Jr. in the corner for 3 this time, knocks one down. 38-32 is, again, the Owls kind of working quickly here as they're already back down the other end of the floor. Fessler over to Curry on the right wing. He's going to be double teamed, but he's going to be guarded now by Tyler. To Kimball. Kimball hands it back off to Fessler. Fessler kind of near midcourt to Gauze. Gauze drives into the lane, kicks it out to David Johnson Jr. He's going to pull up 3 from downtown, and he's going to bury one right in the face of J.J. Turner. And I would have to say the man's starting to heat up here.
Yeah, definitely. We need to shut him down, or else we're going to give up the lead here pretty quick. Because if he scores every time down the floor and we keep getting stuffed on defense, we're going to have problems.
38-35, 17 and a half minutes to play. Tyler hands one off to Latham Jr. He sets his feet from the top of the key for 3. No. Crumble saves it from going out of bounds, throws it off of Gauze, and then kind of almost hit off of Crumble as well, but good selling there by Gauze, but it didn't get it, though.
Yeah, like Crumble almost, he threw it off at Gauze and it about bounced back and hit him when he was out of bounds. So good job there by Crumble, just staying away from the ball as much as possible on that one.
So we'll inbound it to Turner with the fresh 30. Tyler now has it at the top of the key. Swinging it to Tyrone Wright. Tyrone Wright blocked from the top of the key from 3, and it's going to say tipped out of bounds by David Johnson Jr. And again, the man comes in 12th in the nation in blocks, total blocks per game. Also 18th in the nation in blocks per game. So, again, we just saw one right there.
Yeah, it's definitely for a little guy, too. I mean, he's not that big. I mean, and he gets that should be a goaltending right there, really.
As, again, Tyler drives into the lane, puts it up off the glass, was denied, though, by David Johnson Jr. Again, Lepp's now telling the officials, like you said, it should have been goaltending, but not going to call it. Instead, the offensive rebound and putback is for Tyrone Wright, but he could not finish, so he'll go to the line for 2.
Yeah, the rule is, I mean, if it hits the backboard first and then the defender hits it, that's a goaltend automatic, and it did. I could see it from up here, and I don't really have the best angle at it. But Tyler clearly got the ball up quick enough and it hit glass, and then Johnson Jr. comes over and hits the ball, so it should have been a goaltend call.
And the 2 free throws, no good by Tyrone Johnson, so it ended up in the favor of the Owls as the no-look pass from Fessler down low. Count the basket and the foul as he kind of hesitated there, a fake, as Tyrone Wright left his feet, and then Fessler finishes underneath. J.J. Turner and Trayvon Tyler kind of laughing about it here as they knew that they kind of just got robbed in the past 2 possessions.
Yeah, and Gomez comes back in for Tyrone Wright, who he just kind of been struggling. I mean, you could see that he's a little frustrated. So, I mean, hopefully Tyrone Wright can just kind of get his act together, just play some good defense and just do what he does best. Just give it 110%.
And Fessler made the free throw. We're tied at 38, as this has kind of been the closest the Owls have been. They have not led in this ball game, as Latham Jr. now with it, and we have a foul going against Curry. It kind of took them long enough. I saw about 2 or 3 in the mix, but they finally call it.
Yeah, it seems like that was a late call, definitely, but it kind of was one of those where it's like, you got to call it sooner or later. He's going to keep doing whatever he's doing, so it was finally good there by the official, just finally call that foul.
As Latham going to spot up his man and rattle home another 3 from the left corner, and there's not much Curry could have done about that one.
He's really been a shine just in the scoring all year, pretty much. I mean, he's been scoring the ball pretty well.
As Kimball now kicks it back out to Gauze. Gauze at the top of the key for Curry. Back to Gauze, swinging it to the right wing now, and Fessler down low to Johnson. Johnson working baseline over to Curry. Curry in the corner for 3, no short. Offensive rebound, though, goes to Kimball. Feeds Curry down low. He can't finish off the back of the rim and out. Gets his own miss. And put back, no, but foul, yes. As now Austin Curry on the 4th time is going to go to the line here for 2 shots.
I believe that foul was on J.J. Turner. I think that's probably his 3rd foul. So that's something we need to look into. Just be careful, really. Because L.J. Johnson's going to come in for Montez Crumble.
An interesting choice words there. Brookins checks back in for Fessler, as Curry does hit the first of 2. Has 1 more coming. 41-39 lead for the Lynx, but this game's been close throughout.
I think it's going to stay close, really, unless, we could finally knock some shots down, definitely knock some free throws down, and just play good defense. I mean, they're going to stay right with us. David Johnson Jr., he's pumped. I mean, he's back in the game and scoring the basketball like crazy, so they're not going to go away.
As Tyler now with it, trying to drive in. Now on the right wing, drives left side lane, puts a floater up, and high off the glass, and somehow gets it to go. So Trayvon Tyler working his magic in the paint and gets an easy 2.
And he's pumped up, too. I mean, he wants to be back on that defensive end as we switch back into man after going into a zone.
And Brookins now driving to the lane. No travel or foul was called, and now we have a late whistle going against J.J. Turner, I believe, as Gauze was there for the rebound. It almost kind of looked like Brookins driving in. It was either going to be a jump ball or a travel, but instead they're actually going to give the foul on L.J. Johnson instead of Turner, so that works out in the Lynx' favor.
Yeah, just Johnson just in the wrong place at the wrong time. He kind of just got stuck in the lane, and they went right over the top of them. And Gauze is going to just come up with a foul right there just because he kind of fell on L.J. Johnson. So unfortunate foul there for Johnson.
43-41. Gauze has 1 more as he makes his first. As the second one rattles in and out. Offensive rebound, Bookins, though, but he's going to be denied, though, by Gomez. And Gomez has got a big smile on his face. He loved every minute of that one.
I think he got away with a foul right there, too. So I think that's probably what he's smiling about. That was the only one that the official did not call a foul against us.
Johnson now with it. He takes a mid-range jumper and buries it right over Curry. And, I mean, L.J. Johnson, you're thinking, hey, man, you don't need to take that shot. It's contested, but a D1 transfer from the University of Charleston, he's going to knock that down every time.
Yeah, it's really a shot that he's very good at. I mean, we've seen him hit that shot countless times, so it's good to see him back on the scoring load, really, for this Lakes team.
I mean, As Kimball now trying to feed Bookins, but stolen away by Gomez. 2-on-3 fast break here for the Lynx as Latham Jr. trapped in the left side corner across the court pass to Tyler. Tyler catch and shoot as he had to go up and get it. A better pass. He probably knocks that down every time. Lepp didn't like it. Kimball now with the rebound off the air ball by Trayvon Tyler. He's stuck in the corner. Latham Jr. not doing much to kind of put some pressure on him as Brookins now with it. Takes a step back over Gomez. 3 no good. Kimball comes flying in, but he cannot corral it. Johnson pulls down the board. Johnson looked for him to try to work quickly here, but a little too quickly as he loses it out of bounds, and we're going back the other way.
Yeah, just a little careless turnover right there. Just unable to corral the dribble, really, just there by L.J. Johnson. He's going to take a seat along with Gomez and Latham. And I just like, we're subbing so quickly tonight. It's just something that we're not used to seeing, definitely, because, I mean, usually a guy or Coach Left's team, I mean, if they're starting, they're going to play 30 minutes. I mean, we see Trayvon Tyler play all 40 multiple times. So
multiple times as David Johnson drives to the rack, cannot finish. Turner's there. Looked like he fouled him on the other end. No foul was called, though. He hands it to Crumble. Crumble out to Freeman. Freeman down low to Tyrone Wright, and it was a foul underneath on Frost Dixon there. But you're exactly right. I mean, Lepp, he has his 7 or 8, maybe 9 guys that he really knows that can score the basketball, and he sticks to them. Here tonight, we're seeing a much different Coach Lepp subbing left and right, and I have to say I kind of like this version of Coach Lepp.
Yeah, I'm liking it too. I mean, we're just getting fresh legs out there. I mean, we're not seeing it on the scoreboard really as Coach Lepp's going to take a timeout here, but we're not seeing on the scoreboard that we're still winning the ball game, but not by a ton. We're only winning by 4, but it's just kind of like we're getting fresh legs out there no matter what. So sooner or later, if we keep this up going into like postseason or whatever, it's going to start clicking, and more guys are going to score the basketball, and we're going to have a more balanced scoring attack, and we're just going to put a ton of points on the board.
Well, speaking that we're talking about the bench more than we are some of the starters here today, let's talk about this bench role here so far. What have you seen from maybe some of the Lynx bench players that are coming off the bench there, kind of stepping up and trying to maybe make their case for a starting role down the stretch?
I mean, J.J. Turner, obviously, I mean, he's been pretty hot this whole game. He's been knocking down shots. And then Joseph Gomez, too. I mean, he's put in some pretty memorable minutes just because, I mean, he's not scoring the ball that much. He hit 2 free throws and maybe a layup here or there. But, you know, he came up with a steal on one end, a block, and then he's just playing really tough defense. So, and he's just a guy that can score the ball, just a threat on the floor on the offensive end.
I like that. I'm actually going to go with L.J. Johnson. I think he's really surprised me a lot. Not only just coming off the bench as well, but, I mean, having 9 points the other day in just the second half alone and kind of knocking down that mid-range jumper that was contested. I mean, that's almost too much skill to have sit on the bench like that.
Yeah, he's definitely probably the best scorer that we have. I mean, a pure scorer. I mean, Trayvon Tyler, he's not a pure scorer as he gets the inbounds right there and then chips it in, but he's a point guard. I mean, he's going to distribute the ball, but L.J. Johnson, he's a pure scorer to me just because that's what he looks to do. He looks to score the ball first.
And Freeman, as they were trying to feed David Johnson Jr. down low, he snuck in behind him and stole that one right away. The Owls did not see him coming, and the Lynx come back the other end as Freeman trying to find Turner. As Turner working on David Jr. As that one's loose on the floor, Tyrone Wright pulls it down, as now back out to Tyler with 11 seconds on the shot clock. 47-41, 13 and a half minutes left to play. Tyler with it at the top of the key, drives into the lane, puts up a shot, can't get it to go. Turner's there, put back no. And then the second foul, they're going to have a foul underneath the basket, so that should put Turner at the line for 2.
Very surprised Turner didn't get called for a foul right there just because, I mean, he kind of had his hand on the defender. I'm not sure who it was down there for William Woods, but it seemed like he kind of had his hands pressing down the defender so he couldn't jump. So kind of surprised that wasn't called back.
That's why I was hesitant a little bit to call the foul there, because I thought it was going on Turner there for a second, but it does go against William Woods as Kimball checks out of the ball game. Brookins checks in along with Marshall as well. And now they set the inbound. They do find Turner in the left corner. He's trying to drive baseline, goes right around Fessler, and he's going to have to foul him as Turner just blew right past him right there.
Yeah, Turner just doing his best little crossover right there and just goes right past the defender. Not sure who the foul was on because there's a couple guys over there, but that was a good move there by Turner.
Then both teams with 5 team fouls apiece. Crumble set to inbound underneath their own basket as they'll find Tyler. Tyler's guarded by Marshall as Tyrone Wright has David Johnson Jr. Usually we see Trayvon Tyler take one of the best players for the opposing team, as now Tyler almost got hacked in the face there by Johnson. But instead finds Freeman. He drives in, draws contact, cannot finish as that rebound is pulled down by the Owls in Brookins. So Marshall. Marshall now driving into the lane, but we're going to have a foul going against DeAndre Freeman. And it didn't really look like much, as Freeman looked like more. He got smacked in the face.
Yeah, Freeman got hit in the face as well, but he lost the ball, so it's just kind of like he lost the ball for some reason, so it had to be a foul, so they're just going to call that one on him.
It had to be a foul. I like what you said there. Marshall to Fessler in the corner for 3. No, way too strong air ball, as we have an offensive foul over and back going on Walker, as he just bulldozed his way right in there and knocked Freeman out of the way.
Good job there by Freeman, just getting a good position, as Julian Powell's going to come back in with 3 fouls. So hopefully he can stay out of foul trouble and he can just stay in the game to guard David Johnson Jr. on the other end.
And I'd look for the Lynx to feed him too as well.
I mean, he has a very big height difference. I mean, Johnson Jr. can definitely jump. He can jump out of the gym, but he's smaller.
As they do right there. And again, David Johnson Jr. is guarding Powell, so they're trying to feed the big man. They're going to get Johnson into some foul trouble here down the stretch.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think he had maybe, 2 fouls in that first half? Let me look real quick. No, he only had 1 foul, so I think that's only his second foul of the game. So we need to keep feeding Julian Powell. Just get him in foul trouble as much as we can so he can sit on the bench.
And Powell knocks down his first. Something we're glad to see here from this Lynx team. It's just a free throw going in. As the second one in as well. So 2 of 2 from the line. Makes it now an 8-point lead for the Lynx. 49-41. 12.5 minutes left to play here in Fulton, Missouri. Fessler now with it at the top of the key. He hands it off to Marshall. Marshall gets a screen from Johnson at the top of the key. He goes to the right side of it. To the left corner now in Walker. Walker now back to the top of the key. Trying to drive in. Right side lane finds Marshall. Marshall catch and shoot. He drives in, feeds David Johnson down low, and he'll slam it home. So he finally gets his 3rd attempt on the dunk to go.
He finally got one there. That was a nice little dump-off pass. I don't remember who it was from. I'm pretty sure it was from Gauze. Just a nice little dump-off pass right to Johnson just for a slam.
As now Tyler drives into the lane, draws contact. As this one, I believe, is going to go on Marshall. So that's now going to send Tyler to the line for a 1-and-1 opportunity, because that was the team's 8th. And much more fouls called here in the second half than we did see in the first half as well.
I was actually going to say the exact opposite. I thought we were into the bonus well before the 15-minute, or about the 10-minute mark in that first half. But it's about the 10-minute mark here, and we're just now getting to it. So we're doing a little bit better job of not fouling as much.
And here comes William Woods back the other way. Again, knocked down a pair was Trayvon Tyler. 51-43, 11.5 minutes to play. As Marshall now with it on the right wing. Looking for David Johnson instead, finds Brookins. He bounce passes one to Johnson, and Johnson had a wide open lane, and Freeman did the smart play just to foul him and send him to the line for 2 opportunities.
Yeah, it definitely was a smart play there. Just you got to make him earn the free throw. And something there from Brookins. I mean, he had a wide open lane, and he was showing off some dunks in the pregame. I mean, him and Johnson Jr., they're going like between their legs and dunking, and he had a wide open lane, and the team on the bench is just yelling at him, like, dude, just dunk it next time. Just dunk it. Don't try to pass it. Just try to go for the dunk.
Second one rattles home as well. Now we're going to have a timeout taken by James Hayes, so we're going to go to break as well. It's a full timeout. Lynx still leading the way here with 11.5 minutes to play. 51-44 in Fulton, Missouri. We'll be right back right after this. You guys are listening to Lincoln College basketball right here on 89X.
Allison is perfect. I mean, she'd never tell you that. She's humble and perfect. She likes everyone. She even likes her untidy roommate's weird guinea pig. Allison, wait, are you texting and driving? Allison, no. That's the exact opposite of what I was just saying about you. Why, Allison? Why? Texting and driving makes good people look bad. Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
This is you over 30 years ago.
Are we there yet? Are we there yet?
And this is your mom now.
Are we there yet? Are we there yet?
Roles change without us noticing. That's why AARP gives you the information to provide even better care for your loved one. Visit aarp.org/caregiving. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
We're back at the Anderson Arena in Fulton, Missouri, where your Lynx lead the way here. Still about half of the second half to go. 51-44 is our score. Adam, so far so good here in the second half. What are you seeing that the Lynx have done well coming out of halftime?
I mean, I think we're shooting the ball from the free throw line a little better. I think those are starting to fall for us more and more. The thing they need to improve on is just limiting David Johnson Jr. just because, I mean, he's starting to heat up here in the second half, so he's got to be already probably over 20 points by now with only 4 points in the first half.
As Tyler feeds Crumble, had a three, instead finds Freeman. Freeman on the left wing, catch and shoot from downtown. He'll rattle one home. The kid from Morgan Park gets his three to go. And just like that, it's back to a 10-point lead for the Lynx.
Yeah, definitely just good ball movement there. Finding the open man in Freeman, he's going to knock down that triple.
Walker now hands it off to Brookins. Brookins working on Tyler, kicks it back out to Walker. Walker trying to drive into the lane to Mal to Marshall. Marshall no look back to Brookins. He'll take a three from the corner, and he'll rattle one home. So they're trading threes here in the Anderson Arena as the Lynx trying to hurry their way back down the other end of the floor. Right now with it at the top of the key, trying to hand it off to Freeman. He will. Freeman guarded by Walker as he's trying to set up the play here with 15 on the shot clock. To the right wing in Crumble. Crumble has the baseline. He drives. Bounce passes one to Tyler. Tyler thought about a three, takes a step back into the corner, and no, too strong. As that board is going to be brought down by Whitlock. Here comes the Owls back the other way. Marshall trying to force one into Brookins. He saves it from going out of bounds. Somehow finds Whitlock. He puts it up off the glass and draws contact as he's going to go to the line for two.
I really don't think that should happen. I mean, it was a bad pass to Brookins, and he's in air just trying to find out where to pass to. And you got to try to just find a guy on the other team. Just make sure the ball does not get to them in any way. But they found Whitlock right there, and he's going to go to the line for two.
And it almost seems like the Owls at times that they're better when they're out of control.
Yeah, I mean, they're just getting to the basket very easily, and they're just kind of throwing up a wild shot, but the fouls are going to get called for them every time.
So he does knock down a pair right there. 54-49, 10-15 left to play here in Fulton, Missouri. Here comes Trayvon Tyler, and the Lynx now trying to answer. Powell, Tyler, Wright, Freeman, and Crumble on the floor for the Lynx. As Tyler now has it. And he's at the top of the key. Goes around the screen, feeds Powell down low, turn around right-hand hook, and no, just a tad bit too strong as the Owls pull down the board, and here they come back the other way. Marshall now hands it off to Walker. Walker goes to the top of the key. He drives in left side of the lane, and we're going to have a foul going against Trayvon Tyler as he was trying to drive in to the lane now. See how many that is. That's his third, team's ninth here in the half, as Darnell Latham Jr. will check back in. And Walker at the line has two shots coming, or has a 1-on-1 opportunity coming up. They did say that foul was on the floor. An interesting move there. J.J. Turner standing behind the Lynx bench, and Trayvon Tyler sitting on the floor.
I mean, we have open seats. I don't know why they're not sitting down, but whatever they need to do.
Whatever floats their boat over there on the bench for a little bit. 54-50, make it 54-51 after two free throws are good there by Walker. As this is really kind of how it's been. The Lynx kind of get up by 8 or 9, and then all of a sudden the Owls kind of crawl their way back into this one coming from the free throw line as they now trail by just 3. It was 10 about 2.5 minutes ago as Wright hands one off to Freeman. Freeman drives in left side lane, puts it off the glass. He can't get it to go. And now we have a foul going against DeAndre Freeman 90 feet away from the basketball.
Really just a frustration foul right there. He misses the open layup and then just tries to just poke the ball loose in any way, shape, or form. Just comes up with a foul right there.
So again, that's going to be the team's 10th. So we're going to walk to the other end and shoot some free throws. As Brookins' first free throw is in. That cuts the lead now to 2. Has one more. Second one off the back of the rim and no good. As it'll stay a 2-point lead here for the Lynx. Tyrone Wright pulls down the board, and here come the Lynx trying to answer. Need a basket right here as Wright has it at the top of the key. Trying to find Freeman, he does. Freeman guarded by Walker. Here comes Darnell Latham Jr. as he'll find him on the left wing. The defense for the Owls have really stepped up here in the second half as Latham near the midcourt finds Tyrone Wright, and we're going to have a traveling violation going against Latham Jr. yet again. Adam, what did you see there in that last possession from the Lynx?
He was just trying to give the ball up, and just the back foot just kind of dragged along the floor right there. So yeah, it was the right call, but it might not have seemed like it just because it happened so quickly.
Marshall now and the Owls coming back trying to tie this ball game up as they have Marshall over to Walker. Walker takes a three. It was no good, but Marshall called for the traveling violation beforehand. So at least they're going to call it on both ends as J.J. Turner checks back in for Tyrone Wright. And 54-52, 8:45 left to play here in this ball game. And the Lynx, I mean, we know basketball's a game of runs, but the Lynx going to have to go on one of their own here real soon.
Yeah, they have to just get on the scoreboard anyway. You need to get a point right here because it's probably, about an 8-0 run going on right now for William Woods.
As they feed Powell. Powell with a turnaround jumper, no good. Just a tad bit too strong. And interesting call there. It looked like it was last touched by the Owls, but they say it was off of J.J. Turner. Now, Adam, I mean, you're up here taking your headset off almost like you were going to run down there and call this game. What did you see?
It was clearly off the William Woods person. I'm pretty sure it was Whitlock down there. Just got his hand on the ball, and the ball just flung out of bounds. Like it was obvious. It was like probably the most obvious call that I've seen all year, and they didn't call it.
As Whitlock now trapped in the corner as Freeman steals it. Coming off the inbounds, he's got a 2-on-1, and he goes coast to coast, and he's going to be fouled hard by Walker, who thought he had a clean block, but again, body contact, like you always say, draws a foul every time.
Yeah, he knocked him to the floor like that, so maybe not the best call. I think that probably could have just been called a block, but either way, that's just something that they're going to have to deal with because, I mean, it was a huge play for them. It would have given them so much more momentum, but we're going to the free throw line instead.
And this is where the Lynx have to capitalize right here as Freeman at least hits his first as Walker's going to check out of the ball game. Curry comes back in for him. 55-52 now. 8 minutes left to play. As the second one off the front of the rim hits the back of the backboard and out for Freeman. So 1 of 2 from the line is going to stay a 3-point lead. Here come the Owls back the other way. Again, David Johnson Jr. not on the floor for the Owls. As Brookins now drives in, puts up a floater, and Powell did not want to foul. And he's going to get an easy 2. So it's a 1-point lead now for the Lynx. Trying to work quickly here, back the other way. Turner with it, drives into the left side of the lane, puts it up off the glass, can't get it to go. Seems like there's a cylinder on the rim there as they cannot get anything to fall here late in this second half.
And it's really just been in and out, really, the whole time. We haven't really missed a shot by that much. It seems like they're going in every time, just rolling right out of the basket. So something we got to just come by. And then there's no one there on the inbound pass there from Latham.
As it's stolen back the other way, Curry. As the Lynx caught a break there, Curry could not corral it from Marshall as it was a 2-on-1 fast break. But I don't know exactly what Powell was doing down there. Latham tried to feed it to him, and he didn't even stick his hand up.
I mean, he wasn't looking for the ball at all. So it's something that we need to run a set play on the inbounds, first of all. I mean, just try to get a bucket off the inbounds.
Freeman now with it on the left wing. He's guarded by Curry. As we have an offensive foul going against J.J. Turner. And he's going to have to be careful as the referee is kind of eyeing him a little bit. And that's not looking good here for the Lynx. As J.J. Turner with the offensive foul. That's the team's 10th. As here comes David Johnson Jr. and the rest of that starting crew for the Owls back into the lineup. William Woods now Brings it back up the other way. 55-54, 7 minutes left to play. And if the Lynx aren't careful, the Owls are going to have their first lead of the ball game as Gauze goes right to the rack, and it's going to be denied, though, by Powell. Saved by Crumble into the hands of Curry. A 4-on-2 fast break, and Curry goes straight to the rack, and it's going to draw a charging foul as J.J. Turner stepped in there. Might have been in the restricted area, but, hey, they call the charge.
I'm not sure about that one. I think it was the right call. I think he was outside the restricted area, and he was clearly set. He just waited for the offensive player to just run right into him. So I think it was a good call, and it was a good defensive play there by J.J. Turner.
So Freeman, Turner, Crumble, Powell, and Latham on the floor here for the Lynx. They lead by 1. 6:45 to go as Crumble finds Turner down low and draws contact in the act of shooting. So now Turner will go to the line for 2 opportunities. As again, Kimball at the scores table, getting ready to check back in. First free throw rattles home for J.J. Turner, and that's what you want to see. The Lynx make the free throws down the stretch when they need them most. And they got a crucial one right here. Has one more coming. Second one in as well. So Turner 2 for 2 from the line. And Coach Lepp now wants to talk things over as it's a 3-point lead. 30-second timeout. 57-54. Adam, talk to me here a little bit. What are the Lynx going to have to do? We have 6 minutes and 40 seconds left to play in this one. And the Owls have never led. So how do the Lynx keep it that way?
I mean, they really just have to limit who's scoring the basketball for them. I mean, David Johnson Jr. is on the bench, obviously, and he has been, and they've been staying in the game. So we really just keep playing good defense. Do not allow them to shoot threes, really. I mean, if you have to give up a layup, give up a layup. Do not foul them at all, though, just because you're going to put them at the line for 2 no matter what.
We'll see what happens here in the next 6.5 minutes to play. Lynx lead by 3. And same group out on the floor for Coach Lepp as Turner, Freeman, Crumble, Powell, and Latham Jr. on the floor. As it will be William Woods basketball. They hand it off to Brookins. To David Johnson Jr., who's back in the lineup now. As he pulls up for 3 from the top of the key, no. Turner pulls down a huge board for the Lynx, and that's really kind of seems like one of the first misses in a while for William Woods.
Yeah, it really was the first miss, and by a guy who's been sitting on the bench, so he's cold, obviously. I mean, he's been sitting on the bench for a while.
As Crumble now drives in, finds Turner. He's trying to drive in, left side lane, makes one man miss, puts up a shot, can't get it to go. It hit the top of the backboard. They do not stop the play, so the Owls recovered, and they're coming back the other way, down by 3. Gauze with it, trying to feed David Johnson Jr. down low, who's working on Julian Powell. He goes right around him, and it's going to be mishandled by David Johnson and out of bounds, so the Lynx will get the ball right back.
Caught a break right there. I mean, if he doesn't fumble that ball, Johnson gets another 2 points right there pretty easy. Probably could have been a dunk. He was pretty wide open there.
And he basically just went right around Julian Powell.
It could have been called for a hook, maybe, on the spin, but I think it was a good no call. Do not call that kind of play in this situation of the game.
So Freeman now with it, 5.5 to play. They lead by 3. Freeman feeds Powell down low, and he'll just cannot finish underneath the basket. Too easy, wide open, and Powell misses it completely. As here come the Owls back the other way. Fessler going coast to coast. He cannot corral it. Powell might have gotten a block there, as it's 57-54 now as he pulls down the board. Here come the Lynx back the other way. 5 minutes to play now. 57-54. Freeman with it, guarded very closely by Kimball. Looking for Powell to set a screen. He's not moving quite yet. They're going to run down this shot clock. Here's it's under 10. Freeman now is bumped by David Johnson Jr., and that's going to draw a foul. So that's going to send Freeman now to the line, as that was their team's 10th. So each foul from here on out. And we're going to be shooting free throws the rest of the way.
Yeah, I really thought that was going to be what was going to happen just by judging on the first half as well. I mean, just because so many fouls were coming in the first half. So you had to think that it was going to happen here in the second half too, because it's such a close game.
And Freeman could not hit the first. So keep it a 3-point lead. Second one, that one hits as well. And now Coach Lepp going to take a timeout here yet again. And this time it's going to be a full timeout, so we're going to take a break as well. We'll be back in a minute. Your Lynx lead 58-54 with 5 minutes to play. Don't go anywhere. More Lincoln College basketball coming your way as you guys are listening to Lincoln College basketball right here on 89X.
So, I'm a dog, and I'm kind of new to this family, but I've noticed a trend. My humans do this thing where they go around and get all my toys and hide them in this basket, but it's always the same basket, and it's always the same place. And then they act so surprised when I find them. But I'm like, hello, that's where you put it last time. Humans are the worst at hide and go seek.
A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet. Be that person. Adopt. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the ShelterPetProject.org.
I want to thank my mommy for loving me so much, for taking me to the doctor when I broke my foot,
for leaving me alone when I wanted to be alone.
And now, as a grown-up, I'm thankful for being able to take care of you, my dear mom, for taking you to your therapies, for understanding that sometimes you simply want to be alone.
Roles change without us noticing. That's why AARP gives you the information to provide even better care for your loved one. Visit aarp.org/caregiving. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
We're back here in the Anderson Arena in Fulton, Missouri, where your Lynx lead by 4, 58-54 over the host team in this one, the Owls. But again, Adam, we still got 5 minutes to play. It seems like an eternity here in this one.
Yeah, it really has been a long game just because there's so much stoppage of play. So, these next 5 minutes might take about 20 minutes. So, it's going to be a treat, really, because it's going to come down to the wire here.
Have a seat and relax and enjoy the rest of this broadcast as Kimball from three, no good. Offensive rebound goes to Fessler for the Owls as he kicks it back out. It did not hit the shot clock, so it will not reset as Gauze now with it with 6, kicks it out to Fessler. Fessler now give and go with Kimball. Kimball has to throw up a prayer with the 1 second on the shot clock. Hits the front of the rim. David Johnson Jr. gets the offensive rebound. Put back. No, but foul, yes, underneath. And those second chance points, third chance points cannot be allowed by this Lynx team.
Definitely can't, especially this late in the game. That was 2 offensive rebounds right there. And they finally just aren't going to get to the line here. So David Johnson Jr. be at the line here for 2 shots.
First free throw rattles home for David Johnson Jr. in this one. Makes it a 3-point lead now as Walker will check back in for Kimball. Johnson has one more coming. As the second one in as well. 58-56 now as Whitlock checks back in for David Johnson Jr. So an interesting call there from James Hayes taking out their best player.
Yeah, I think it's really just for a defense for offense kind of thing because they don't want it picking up another foul. So, and we're just going to run down the clock, of course, because that's really been the only offense that's been working for us for the past month, really. Just pushing it down to 10 seconds and then just trying to make a play.
And cannot get anything going. Freeman's going to take a 3 from the top of the key. No, too strong. Gauze pulls down the rebound, and here come the Owls back the other way yet again. Down by 2, 58-56. We're under 4 minutes to play now. Gauze now takes it, drives baseline, feeds Fessler, who cuts in behind him, and he finishes. So this ball game is tied, and this is not good for the Lynx. And now Coach Webb wants another timeout as Freeman comes right over there, and he will. He's going to call another timeout right here, and it's going to be another full timeout. So we're going to take another break. Actually, we're going to stay right here, Adam, and I'm going to have you talk to me here a little bit. This game's now tied, 3.5 minutes to play, 58 all. What do the Lynx have to do in the next 3 minutes? They got to forget about everything that has happened in this ball game so far. What do they have to do successfully in the next 3 minutes to come away with a W?
Maybe switch into a zone. That last backdoor cut there, because it's uncontested, just wide open. I'm pretty sure it's Whitlock there on the cut, just no one around him, and he gets a wide open layup. So, with the zone, we're going to allow them to shoot the 3 ball a little more, but, that's something they haven't really knocked down consistently enough in the game, so where you really have to worry about it.
Now, like you said, let's talk about the Lynx offense just a little bit. They cannot get anything going offensively. I mean, we've watched shots go in and out. We've seen shots be halfway down and then pop right back out. It seems like it's happening to them all. So what's an easy play that the Lynx can run on offensively that maybe could get them an easy basket and then kind of get things going again?
I mean, we're trying to do the little pick and roll at the top of the key, but they're doing a good job of just the big man coming out and covering the point guard until the defensive point can like come back in transition and just like pick his man up. But I mean, just a simple pick and roll, just try to get Powell just down low, just feed the big man to see if he can just create a play down there, because he's got Whitlock on him, who's a smaller guy. He's not nearly as athletic, so it really should just be a walk in the park for Julian Powell down there, but they're just not feeding him.
In the original starting group in the lineup, except for Tyrone Wright, as Turner's in there, as he misses the three from the corner, but Powell pulls down an offensive rebound, which is what we need here from the Lynx. He kicks it back out to Tyler to set up the offense here with a fresh 30.
Yeah, we really need something right here. Trayvon Tyler checked in after that last break. But, I mean, having him back on the floor just gives us more scoring.
As Latham Jr. now tipped back out as the ball's loose on the floor. Fessler and Turner now jump ball as they were both grounded. It stays with the Lynx here in this one, so they're going to get another offensive possession as well. It was kind of like third time's a charm for them.
Yeah, just a good job of just staying with it there is Crumble and then Latham as well. So it was a good tip out there by Julian Powell. So just we're doing exactly what we need to do.
They throw it into the backcourt for Montez Crumble. They will finally start it. We're at 3 minutes to play. We're tied at 58. Now we have an offensive foul away from the basketball, I believe, going on Julian Powell. And this is not something the Lynx want and can't afford right now.
No, you definitely cannot afford that right now. And David Johnson Jr. is going to come back in for Whitlock. So look for them to feed Johnson Jr. down low just to try to draw another foul on Julian Powell.
I believe that would be Powell's third or fourth at least in this one, as the Owls have the chance to take the lead for the first time in this ballgame, and they're going to go to their go-to man as David Johnson Jr. turn around right hook, gets it to go over Julian Powell, and now James Hayes is going to take a timeout to talk it over as well, as we're under 3 minutes to play. The Owls have their first lead of the ballgame, 60-58, and Adam, this is not something we were just talking about.
Yeah, I mean, not really sure what we're trying to do. I mean, on the offensive end, I mean, we can waste some clock, but I mean, we got to get a lead first. I mean, when we're tied and we're just wasting clock like that, I mean, it's an empty possession. I mean, the odds of us scoring on a possession where we waste 10 minutes or 20 seconds of a clock is very slim to none, because, I mean, you only have 10 seconds to just try to create something out of nothing. So we just need to run a better offense, really, and just get points on the board.
And we'll see what Coach Lepp draws up coming out of the timeout. I mean, this is something the Lynx, we knew the game was going to be close, but they have not trailed at all in this ball game until the final 38 minutes, or the final 2 minutes of this, as they led all 38 before that. 60-58 as now Trayvon Tyler, J.J. Turner, Latham Jr., and Powell, as Turner drives in, kicks it out to Tyler. Tyler drives into the lane, puts up a foul, count the basket and the foul, as Trayvon Tyler doing what he does best, and it's called being clutch.
Yeah, that was a great play there by Trayvon Tyler, just attacking the basket as much as he can there. And he's going to pick up a bucket there plus a foul.
David Johnson Jr. checks back in for Whitlock. The foul was on Gauze. His free throw is in, so Trayvon Tyler completes the old-fashioned three-point play. As here comes Tyrone Wright back into the ballgame. Now Coach Lepp doing a little offense for defense with Powell and Wright. Now here comes Freeman as well. He's coming in to get Tyler, maybe some more offense for defense as well.
I would assume that's what they're doing, because Tyler has a little bit of foul trouble. So, I mean, they don't want him risking it and picking up another foul. So it's a good job there by Coach Lepp, just doing the offense for defense.
David Johnson Jr. now hands it off to Gauze. He gets a screen from Fessler, trying to drive into the lane. Picks up his dribble, feeds Johnson down low. He finishes too easy underneath the basket. They're almost going to have to, double team him, as it kind of looked like the ball was already thrown in. But they called the timeout was awarded to Jim Hayes, the head coach, here for the Owls in this one, as your Lynx trail 62-61 now. They will have the basketball coming out of the timeout. Adam, let's talk about David Johnson Jr. down low a little bit. it seems like he's almost unstoppable down low. I mean, you have Powell on him, one of our biggest guys, and still somehow able to finish.
Yeah, and then when you put J.J. Turner, a smaller guy on him that could probably equally as athletic, just scores so much better over the top of him. And then when he goes to Julian Powell, he goes up and under. I mean, he's unstoppable down there. I mean, I don't want to say him. That's kind of the guy that we need on our team right now. He's an athletic freak, and he can really score underneath. And he's a big man presence that we're really kind of lacking.
No, you're exactly right. Now, from Coach Lepp's standpoint, I mean, if you're in that huddle, he's probably yelling at his guys going, can someone please stop number 23? And so how do you stop him in your mind?
You got to double him. I mean, that's really the only thing you can do right now. I mean, go into a zone maybe, and then as soon as he gets the ball, just two guys just swarm him just because, I mean, no one else on their team is really scoring. So it's just, why not double him? Why not risk it?
So would you take Powell and Turner to double, or would you take a smaller guard per se?
I'd say whoever's close to him. I mean,
just who's ever there.
Yeah, it kind of depends on what kind of defense we're playing. Obviously, I mean, if there's a 2-3 zone going on, then maybe the bottom post guy and then the middle guy come over, so it's two big guys on him. But man to man, it's just whoever's there.
And it kind of seemed like that 2-3 zone worked earlier in the game as Latham Jr. now with it had some trouble with it right in front of the bench, but corrals it now, and Tyler with it with 18 on the shot clock. He's in the right side corner looking for Powell underneath. That ball was tipped, but he still finds Powell. Back out to Tyler. Tyler can pull it from right there as he loses it. Ball's loose on the floor. He picks it back up. 5 seconds to go. Powell trying to drive in. Draws contact. Finds Turner underneath, and he finishes underneath the basket. So what a play there by Julian Powell as we're under 1:30 to go, and Lepp had to race down there to call a timeout this time. Both teams have 2 fouls apiece. It's a full timeout. We're going to take a break as well as the Lynx lead by 1 again, 63-62. Don't go anywhere. This one's getting good, ladies and gentlemen, as you guys are listening to Lincoln College basketball right here on 89X.
Hi, I found a toy dinosaur over on the playground by Smith Street. It had this phone number on it, and, well, I just wanted to make sure the dinosaur made it back to its little owner.
When I found the little sippy cup, I just had to give you a call. It's for a kid, you know?
I know my son gets super attached to the smallest things, even a fire truck, and I'd be happy to drop it off.
We'd do anything for kids, yet 1 in 6 children in the U.S. struggle with hunger. Help end childhood hunger near you. Learn how at feedingamerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Adopt US Kids presents Multiple Choice Parenting.
You're bringing your daughter to a pop concert. Do you A, wear earplugs?
Isn't this fun, Dad?
I'll have a soft pretzel.
Or B, just roll with it?
Justin! OMG! I love you, Justin! I love you!
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Teens in foster care will love you just the same.
For more information on adoption, visit adoptuskids.org. A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
We're back at the Anderson Arena where your Lynx, they retook the lead by 1. As this game has been close throughout, but it's always stayed a kind of a 4 or 5 point lead, even a 10-point lead at one point for this Lynx squad. Now they only lead by 1. 1:33 left to play. We'll see what the Owls have to say about this as Gauze and the rest of his Owls team come back down the floor. There's a little give and go from Walker and Fessler. Gives it back out to Walker. Walker guarded by Johnson. He's got Crumble and Turner on him as they finally switch back. As Brookins now throws it right to his head coach, and he is not happy there as they basically had David Johnson Jr. down low wide open underneath, but they could not find him.
Yeah, they couldn't find him really. They were throwing the double at him there with Crumble and then also J.J. Turner. So it's exactly what I thought they should do, and just try to just throw a double at him to see if we can get a bucket here on the other end.
We'll see if the Lynx can respond coming out of that defensive stop there. Again, James Hayes throwing something down. I think it was his water cup because he's not happy with that possession that he had right there. 63-62, exactly a minute to play. Tyler with it on the right wing. Going right around. Marshall drives in, puts it up off the glass, can't get it to go. Powell's there to tip it around. He can't corral it. Now Walker loses it, picks it back up, finds Brookins, and the Lynx are going to lead by 1 as here come the Owls with 45 seconds to play, and now James Hayes will take a timeout. He's got 1 remaining after this. He wants to talk things over. in this one, we'll see what they want to call here. It is going to be another full timeout, so we're going to take another break. We'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. 63-62 with 45 seconds left to go. You guys are listening to Lynx men's basketball right here on 89X.
Hey.
Hi, nice neighborhood. You must have a strong community association board.
I don't pay any attention to that stuff.
How do you know the board and community manager are making the right decisions?
I don't, but what can I do?
Connect with CAI.
CA what?
CAI, Community Associations Institute. They're a nonprofit group with free resources for your board, training for community managers, and information for homeowners.
Protect your investment at responsiblecommunities.com.
Today we decided to walk to school. The light counted. 15, 14,
31? 13?
We took a left on Carroll Street. Danny's smart, but he gets distracted. I realized he forgot his homework. I hope he doesn't have another bad day at school.
When you can see learning and attention issues from their side, you can be on their side. That's why there's Understood.org, a free resource for the parents of the 1 in 5 kids with learning and attention issues. Go from misunderstanding to Understood.org. Brought to you by Understood and the Ad Council.
We're back at the University of William Woods in this one where, again, we got a good one here. Lynx lead by 1, 63-62 with 45 seconds left. They're going to have the Owls, there we go. He's trying to throw them all together. But they're going to have the basketball coming out of this timeout. Adam, what can we expect here on defense by the Lynx?
Well, I think for William Woods, they're definitely going to go to David Johnson Jr. I think that's definitely their best play. But, for the Lynx, you got to limit them to it. You got to make them have a tough shot. That was nearly picked off by J.J. Turner. And they're trying to beat Johnson.
I was watching while you were talking right there. Again, Turner, everybody else is switching, but Turner staying on David Johnson Jr. He knows not to leave his man. So we'll see if the double team kind of helps from that.
Because they know as soon as he touches the ball, it's over. He's going to score. So they just...
And they throw it in to Gauze. Gauze at the top of the key. Turnaround jumper over Crumble. No. It's tipped back by David Johnson Jr. And we got a foul as I'm sure it's going to go on DeAndre Freeman as he kind of flew in out of nowhere trying to corral that rebound. And that's going to send Gauze to the line for a 1-and-1 for 2 shots here with 21 seconds left.
I'm really surprised that one was, it was obviously a foul, but it's just like, who are you going to call it on? They're both going for a ball, so I'm not sure if that was the right call or not. I would assume so. It's just I'm not sure who you give the edge to. Freeman's asking for an explanation right there. He's going after the ball just as intently. So it's just like, who do you call the foul on that situation?
It was an interesting call there as Gauze knocks down his first. So that'll make it tied. 63 all with one more coming. 21 seconds left. The Lynx will have the final shot. And Coach Lepp does have a timeout if he wants to take it. And Tyler, Crumble, Latham Jr., Powell, and Turner on the floor here for the Lynx. As the second one in and out, so we're tied at 63. So the Lynx can win it on the final possession right here. James Hayes says no foul. The Lynx get it across half court. We're under 10 to play. Tyler guarded very closely by Gauze. He's at the top of the key. They set the double screen. He goes to the right wing now, trying to drive baseline. Kicks it out to Brooking Brooks as that's going to do it. We're heading to OT, ladies and gentlemen. As this one has been a good one all game long. The Lynx could not capitalize, didn't even get a shot off in the last 20 seconds as we're tied at 63, waiting for 5 more minutes left to be played in this one. But Adam, talk to me here a little bit on that last offensive possession by the Lynx. I know you're looking for Trayvon Tyler and you're looking for the easy shot, but however, though, to not even get a shot off is something to be said.
Yeah, I think if he goes underneath the basket like that, you just got to try to make a play and just try to get the ball up towards the rim. And then if it goes in and out, and then you have Tyrone Wright there. Tyrone Wright and Julian Powell for a possible tip-in. So it's just, I don't know why he was trying to pass it out with only 2 seconds left. So if it would have hit someone, it would just have to be a catch and then just like a chuck up there. So I'm not sure about the play right there. I'm not sure if there's even a play even drawn up. It probably just was like Trayvon just make a play. I mean, he's very capable of doing it, and I could really see Left doing this in this kind of situation because he trusts Trayvon so much. But, I mean, that play right there, I mean, it's broken possession, and it really should have ended with us getting a better shot.
No, I completely...
Or just a shot in general, I should say.
I completely agree with you. I'm still with you, though, on... I do believe that Trayvon Tyler is that type of player. He is capable of making those types of big shots down the stretch, but you got to set up more of a screen. They tried to set a double screen at the top of the key, but again, we've been running that all game. They saw it coming.
Yeah, they definitely saw it coming. That's when you, you try to reach into the bag of tricks right there. Just try to pull something out. Just, you've been doing it all game. Why not just draw something up different that maybe we haven't run all game, or just we haven't run in a long time, just to try to throw the defense off.
And we're set to go, put 5 minutes on the clock as Julian Powell wins the tip this time around. So second go around against David Johnson Jr. He wins that one as we're tied at 63. We'll see what happens in the next 5 minutes as Crummell drives into the lane, puts one up off the glass, can't get it to go. Turner with an offensive rebound, kicks it out to Tyler, to Latham. Latham with a mid-range jumper in transition, and you know he's money every time. So the Lynx retake the lead, 65-63, as here come William Woods in overtime. Fessler now back to Gauze. Gauze back to Fessler on the left wing, trying to feed David Johnson Jr. down low, and he's going to be called for a foul before the shot, as J.J. Turner says it was on him. So that's going to send now Johnson to the line for 2 opportunities. And kind of look, she's taking our Domino's receipt down. Somebody's got to pay for it, and I think he's got some more pizzas to deliver. He's not staying around for overtime.
Yeah, he's been sitting here for quite a while. I'm not sure, who was that foul called on? Did you see?
Turner.
It's called on Turner? That's who I figured it was called on, but Johnson misses the first one. And he misses, or he makes the second one. I tried to just talk it out of happening there.
And then a little offense for defense and David Johnson sits down as Whitlock comes back in. Lynx lead by 1, 65-64, 4:15 left to play in overtime. Turner now with it at the top of the key. Gets a screen as he hands it to Tyler. Over to Powell. Powell trying to drive in on Whitlock. Kicks it back out to Latham. Latham now trying to drive in the left side lane. Puts one up off the glass. Count the basket and the foul as Darnell Latham Jr. flexing his muscles here a little bit as he's going to go to the line for an and one opportunity.
Yeah, he's been the only scoring opportunity here in the overtime. He scored that bucket real quick out of the opening gates, and then that one right there, and he's got a chance for one more here to make it 5 in overtime. And he does.
And Darnell Latham Jr. really kind of the go-to factor. I mean, we've seen Trayvon Tyler as well down the stretch, but really you could make a case for Darnell Latham Jr. as well.
Yeah, I think he's capable of scoring the basketball in a clutch situation, and he showed it right there.
Gauze drives baseline, trying to find somebody, kicks it out to Brookings, but I believe Latham got a piece of it, still finds Fessler down low, and they're going to call a foul underneath the basket as Fessler in the act of shooting. I didn't see who they called that on, but I
believe it was on Julian Powell.
Powell's walking back towards the bench.
That's his 5th.
So Powell's night is done here as Tyrone Wright looks like he's going to have to check back into the ball game. And something that we've seen, I know it's in overtime, so kind of a few extra minutes there, and Lynx got to do a better job of staying out of foul trouble for situations like this.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's when you kind of just look back in the game. It's like, why did I pick up that foul in the first, 2 minutes of the ball game? Because it's just limiting him to be aggressive down the stretch.
And Fessler misses his first attempt there, so good. That's good news for the Lynx. When this Owls team, they hit about every free throw they had in the first half. As he hits the second one, 3-point lead now for the Lynx. 3.5 minutes to play here in overtime. Tyler brings it up the floor, trying to feed Tyrone Wright down low. Now to Turner at the top of the key. He thought about a 3. Instead, bounce passes one to Crummell. Crummell now trying to drive baseline, kicks it out to Latham. Latham for 3 at the top of the key. Yes! Darnell Latham Jr. once again showing that dagger is capable of scoring everywhere on the floor.
Yeah, he's just coming alive here in overtime. Crumble about gets a steal there. But, I mean, if you're William Woods, you need a bucket right here just to try to stay in the game.
71-65, 3 minutes left to play. I'm with you. They need a bucket to kind of keep themselves in this one, and it's not going to happen as Montez Crumble draws the charge as he stepped in there on Gauze, and he ran him right over. That's always going to be called every time, and the Lynx going to get the ball back.
I mean, yeah, just a great defensive play there by Crumble. Just letting them just run over him, like he said. So that's a good defensive play there by Crumble.
Tyler now guarded very closely by Gauze. He's trying to get a steal there. Turner with it at the top of the key. Out to Latham Jr., who's been the hot hand in overtime. He's going to catch and pull up from downtown off the front of the rim. Try to tip it back in. He could not. Rebounded by the Owls. Here they come. Walker now with it. Drives into the lane. Puts one up off the glass and got bailed out by the official there, as it was either Latham or Tyrone Wright that is going to pick up that foul. And it is going to be Latham Jr. So that's now going to send Walker to the line for 2 opportunities. First free throw is in for him, as here comes David Johnson Jr. back into the ball game. 71-66. One more free throw coming, as that one in as well. So make it 71-67 now, and here's where the Lynx can run down some of the shot clock.
Yeah, this is where you can take 20 seconds or so. I don't think we're going to. I think we're going to actually go right into pretty much the play that we tried to end regulation with.
As Turner drives into the rack, left side of the lane, draws contact, so he's going to go to the line for 2. And it kind of seemed like you said, it was the same play, and that one seemed to work better than the one at the end of regulation.
Yeah, it definitely did, because Turner just tried to make a play right there, just tried to get as much contact as he could, just try to go up to it.
So Turner at the line for 2 opportunities, as the officials trying to clean up the floor here a little bit.
Our bench, I mean, just cracking up over there. They're laughing because it was their towel, and as soon as the ref wipes up the mess, they start clapping at him like I think it's Roy and Bowers and Gomez. They're just out there just trying to have a good time out there.
Well, we were talking before the game as Turner makes 1 of 2 from the line, 72-67. But we were talking before the game that they're kind of the happy trio there.
Yeah, they're always together. They're always just having a lot of laughs. So it's good to see them just having fun on the bench.
As Brookins now kicks it to Walker. Walker with it at the top of the key, guarded by Latham Jr. Gets a screen from Fessler to the top of the key now from Brookins, who's left wide open in the corner for 3, and he'll knock one down. So make it a 2-point game now as we're under 2 minutes to play. 72-70, and again, the Owls are not going to go away quietly here in this one. Tyler now standing right in front of Coach Lepp to Turner. Turner hands it to Crumble, who's at the top of the key. He's working on Walker to Tyrone Wright. Right on David Johnson Jr. to Tyler. Tyler trying to drive in, left side lane, puts one up off the glass, can't get it to go. Brookins pulls down the rebound, and here come the Owls back the other way, under 1:30 to play. Brookins to Walker. Walker in the corner for 3. No, in and out. Tyler pulls down a huge rebound, and he's just going to stand there and hold it like any smart player would do.
That was really a missed opportunity right there. I mean, if that would have gone down, the whole roof would have came down here at the Anderson Arena. I mean, everyone is just into this game right now.
And that would have put a ton of pressure on the Lynx as Tyler drives into the lane, finds Tyrone Wright for 3. No. No. Rebounded by Walker as Turner almost got a hand in there for that offensive board. He couldn't pull it down. And here comes the Owls back yet again. We're in overtime, 72-70, as he hands it off to Gauze with 40 seconds to play. He dishes it to Walker. Walker in the corner for 3 this time, and he does not miss the second go-around as the 3 from the corner puts the Owls back up by 1. And like you just said, this crowd just erupted here in this one, and now it puts the pressure on the Lynx to make a play back on the other end.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, definitely just puts the pressure back on us. It's a similar situation to what we had to end regulation with. I mean, how do we allow 2 wide open threes? Back-to-back possessions with the same guy. I mean, we had, it was actually three back-to-back plays, because you had, I can't think of his name right now. I'm sorry, everyone. Brookins hits that three in the quarter, wide open. And then just back-to-back plays where Walker's just wide open in the corner. Like, where's the defense at? What are we running? Why are we giving up wide open threes in this situation with under a minute to play in overtime, up by 2?
Hey, man, you're telling the wrong person up here, man. I completely agree with you. And I know you can hear in our voices of the frustration.
Even the
up
pizza
here.
guy is frustrated. He just wants to go home.
He's still in here, isn't he?
He's still in here.
I mean, you can feel the frustration from this Lynx team, and that's why I said the pressure's all on us, because we led this entire game, and now they retook the lead in overtime, and we have 30 seconds left to play, and we need a basket.
Yeah, we definitely need a basket, and hopefully we just got to go right at it. We don't try to waste time here, because we need a bucket. Then we can worry about a stop.
Tyler feeds Turner, turnaround jumper, no. Offensive rebound, Tyrone Wright. So the shot clock turned off. Lynx down by 1. Turner this time takes another shot. Blocked, though, by David Johnson Jr. Turner corrals it. Tries to throw up a foul, and he's going to be fouled hard by Walker. Kind of got bailed out there on that one as Turner didn't exactly know how much time was left on the clock, just trying to throw it up. And he's now going to go to the line for, I believe, 3 shots here in this one. Only needs 1. Would like 2, but only needs 1.
Yeah, he only needs 1 to just tie it up. Hopefully the pressure doesn't get to him. I'm going to knock on wood here because I don't want that to happen. I want us to come away with the game, so hopefully we can. I don't know what's going on.
Everybody just, it's like we almost have a free timeout. Or they're trying to get a sub in. I don't know exactly what just happened. They're letting both teams go back to their benches.
Yeah, a timeout was not called.
Don't know exactly what was going on right there, but they let both teams talk it over. Adam, this is unusual. Usually in overtime.
I have no idea really what's going on. J.J. Turner will be at the line for 3 shots, and then as soon as he got up to the line, everyone just kind of walked away, and so did Turner, and he went to go dry his hands off.
Turner knocks down the first free throw, so that puts us tied at 73 with 9.9 seconds left to go. Would be critical if he could hit all 3 right here. But the crowd really trying to get behind their team and kind of make Turner miss, but he's knocked down the first 2 right here. And now Coach Lepp calls an interesting timeout here with 9 seconds left to go. Usually it's the other team's head coach that calls a timeout to try to ice the free throw shooter, but Coach Lepp, interesting timeout here, would you say, Adam?
Yes and no. The whole icing the free throw shooter thing, I definitely think that's a tactic used by the other team in this kind of situation, but I bet you Coach Lepp is drawing up something like, if it goes in, we're going to try to go into a press. If he misses, try to go after the offensive rebound just for a second, and then if they come up with it, you just have to get back as soon as you can. So it's a smart timeout in that situation because you don't want to see our guys do a bonehead move here late in the game.
And Turner does have one more free throw coming. Lynx lead by 1, 74-73, 9.9 seconds to play in overtime. And the third and final free throw is knocked down, so Turner, Lynx not known for the free throw shooting, but he knocks down a big clutch free throws right there as Gauze to Curry. Now with 3 seconds left to go. That ball's loose on the floor, and we have a foul going against Montez Crumble. And I don't believe he was in the act of shooting, so therefore he's going to go to the line for 2. So the potentially could tie the game up here with 1.6 seconds left and send us into a double overtime. And we were already going to get back late anyway. We might as well make it a little bit later now.
Yeah. In that kind of situation, I guess it was a right call, but there was some contact there, but it definitely seemed like he had the ball first, but he's still going to knock down 2 right here.
As the first one is knocked down by Curry. So we'll see what happens. He's got one more. I mean, we've seen some clutch. We've seen a lot of free throws kind of from late in the ball games where it decides the factor.
Yeah, definitely. It's the most important part of the game.
Everybody's shushing the crowd here as Curry knocks down a pair. And once again, we are tied at 75 with 1.6 seconds left to play in the first overtime. It is going to be a full timeout, so Again, both teams out of timeouts. I have to take that back. William Woods has one more remaining in overtime. But again, this is a critical situation. Adam, have you ever seen a game like this before?
It's a very bizarre game. We shouldn't really be in the situation. I mean, we were up 7 when the overtime first started, and now we're tied. It's just some questionable defensive possessions where we just kind of gave up wide open shots. It's just, I don't see how it happens in this kind of situation. It's something we definitely need to work on.
Now you got 1.6 seconds left. Not enough time to get down the floor. Really kind of an inbounds and maybe a couple steps and a shot, and a heave, I should say. But who's taking it? Are you giving it to Latham, or are you going to give it to Trayvon Tyler, or just anybody that's open?
I think you give it to Latham. He's the number one option right now. I mean, look at Bowers over there dancing. I don't know. Sorry about that. It caught my eye there. They're all like in like a huge huddle, and Bowers is over there just like back behind, just dancing. But he might have time just for a full court heave. Maybe Christian Layton or Grant Hill. That's in that 92 championship run.
Duke fans.
Crumble's going to be taking the ball out. Just look for probably Latham to catch it here.
They inbound it to Turner. Turner's just going to have to throw up a full quarter and actually hit the shot clock over the back of the rim. So a little too much muscle power here in that one, as once again we are tied at the end of overtime. So we're going to go to a double overtime here in this one. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to be back in a minute, so don't go anywhere as we are tied at 75, headed into double overtime. More Lynx basketball coming your way right here on 89X.
Hi, this is Josh Groban. My favorite thing about music is its ability to inspire and nourish the soul. That's why I'm proud to work with Feeding America, an organization that inspires hope for families in need and helps nourish the 16 million kids in this country struggling with hunger. The Feeding America nationwide network of food banks gathers surplus food and helps get it to kids in need. But they can't do it alone. Find out how you can help at feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
What are all the things you witness online in a day? Cats playing piano, selfies on your feed, your friend's picture being turned into a nasty meme that's been shared 50 times, 51, 52. When someone's being bullied online, it's hard to know what to do. Now you can speak up with the witness emoji. It looks like an eye in a speech bubble, and it's in the symbol section near the clocks in your phone. You'll let the world know it isn't cool, and you'll let your friend know you care. Learn more at eyewitnessbullying.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Welcome back here to the Anderson Arena. Hopefully you can stay awake for this long. We are up here. It's only just a little bit after 9 as we're tied at 75. Put another 5 minutes on the clock because we got round 2 of overtime coming your way. Again, one key factor, though, for the Lynx that we haven't talked much about, though, as Julian Powell is fouled out of this ballgame.
Yeah, I mean, Turner's going to have to play huge minutes. I'm pretty sure him and J.J. Turner both have 4 fouls. If not, I mean, they either have 3 or they have 4.
At least
3. It's close, but without Powell in the ballgame, I mean, that our big man presence is just kind of gone.
And just like that, this time David Johnson is going to win the tip because Powell's not there to jump with him. So the Owls will have the first possession as Brookins from downtown, no. Rebounded by Montez Crumble, who was kind of doubling David Johnson down low, as Tyler now to Turner. Turner trying to hand it off to somebody. Instead, he's going to kind of dribble around a little bit, finds Latham. Latham now gets a screen at the top of the key, kicks it back out to Tyrone Wright. Trying to feed Turner down low. He could not. Back to Crumble. Crumble working on Curry, gets a screen from Turner, goes to the right side of it, picks up his dribble to Turner now at the top of the key, drives in left side lane. Back out to Tyler. Tyler to Crumble. Crumble from the right wing from downtown. No. Good ball movement, though, by the Lynx. Rebounded by the Owls, and here they come back the other way. And the Owls have had so many chances to win as they throw it down low to Johnson Jr. and count the basket and the foul right there. Not much J.J. Turner could do. It was in front of him, but they just kind of threw it right over the top. And yet again, David Johnson Jr. finishes through contact.
Yeah, really, it was a good play there. My God, just lobbing it over the defense and just allowing David Johnson Jr. just to go up and go get it, and just goes right around J.J. Turner and just goes right up and under and one.
As the free throw, no good, so he misses the attempt for the and one, and it's Tyrone Wright almost collided with Turner and almost had a traveling violation there. So we'll see what the Lynx can do trailing this time in overtime. 77-75 as we're under 4 minutes to play. This whole the bench and the crowd for the Owls chanting defense. Everybody but us in the stands is rooting for the Owls here in this one as Latham Jr. drives baseline, puts it up, count the basket and the foul as Darnell Latham Jr. this time goes to the line to complete an and one opportunity.
I'm curious to see how many points he has. I mean, he had, 7 or 8 in the first overtime, and then add 2 more right there with a chance to add 3. Or add a third, I should say, not add 3.
And Trayvon Tyler up here talking to DeMario, one of our managers up here doing the camera as we do miss Ant. He's not here with us, did not make the trip down, but again, you got to love Trayvon just staying calm, cool, and collected in the moment.
Just making jokes in this kind of moment.
As, again, 78-77 as that step back jumper by Curry. He knocks it down, and they retake the lead by 1. 3.5 minutes to play in double overtime. 79-78. Turner with it. Over to Latham in the corner. Latham thought about a 3, kicks it back out to Crumble at the top of the key. He drives in left side lane, puts it up off the glass, can't get it to go. Put back by Tyrone Wright. Yes, as he got a lot of friendly bounces there.
About 3 or 4 of them right there, but good play there by Tyrone Wright, just following the shot.
Here comes the Owls back the other way, trying to answer. Gauze trying to feed Johnson down low. They could not as they find Curry or Gauze, one of the two. They both kind of caught at the same time as Curry now kicks it to Gauze. Gauze with the mid-range jumper, no. Tyrone Wright pulls down the board for the Lynx. 80-79 as your Lynx lead here in double overtime. Looking to extend that right here by at least 2 or 3. And once again, the whole crowd chanting defense. Except for us. Adam and I still up here representing the Lynx in our road purple as Tyler kicks it to Crumble in the right side corner. He drives baseline with 6 seconds on the shot clock. Turnaround jumper from the free throw line. No. Rebounded by Fessler for the Owls. Here they come now with Gauze back the other way. 2.5 to play. Brookins now for 3. No, too strong. Offensive board goes to Gauze. Down low to Fessler. Fessler down low. Count the basket and the foul as J.J. Turner with his hands up has an and one opportunity coming, and I believe that's the end of the night for J.J. Turner.
I believe it is as well. I think that's his 5th, and it is, so it's curious to see who they're going to bring in. Because I don't think we're going to go 4 on 5. They're going to bring in DeAndre Freeman, so it's definitely a smaller look for the Lynx.
And it's going to be interesting, too, because J.J. Turner and Julian Powell were the two that were on David Johnson Jr., and now both of them have fouled out of this ball game. And
yeah,
second free throw, no good, and we're going to have a foul going on Austin Curry over the back, so that's going to put Tyrone Wright, I believe, at the foul line this time. As the Owls lead by 1, 81-80. Tyrone Wright's going to make the slow walk all the way down to the other end of the floor. He's standing at the free throw line all by himself, and once again we have another unofficial timeout.
It almost looks like he's about to shoot a technical free throw. I mean, there is 2 shots. I mean, he could shoot it if he wants to. I think there needs to be a bottom guy down there for William Woods.
And it's interesting that the officials are allowing them to talk it over here a little bit.
That's something I didn't know was a thing. I thought, I mean, you can get 2 or 3 guys maybe over to the huddle, but not all 5 or 4. I mean, 4 or 5 like we had. But, I mean, Tyrone Wright didn't leave the free throw line. He was just sitting there. He's just waiting.
As Wright's free throw hits the front of the rim and drops. A scary moment there for Lynx fans, especially being at the free throw line for how much we've talked about it today.
I mean, it seems like we've only hit free throws in overtime or in the end of the game when J.J. Turner knocked down those 3, as Tyrone Wright knocks down a pair right there as well to give us a 1-point lead once again.
So the Lynx have hit their last 5 free throws coming down the stretch, the much needed as they lead by 1, as Adam just mentioned, 82-81, as we're under 2 minutes to play now in double overtime. Brookins now with it, drives into the lane, kind of power dribbles, and we're going to have a foul as he went up for the shot. We'll see who that one is on this time. As they're going to say that one was on Tyrone Wright, and that very well I believe that's his fourth. Score table didn't put up the 5 yet, but again, he's going to have to be close up there as well. Now he's going to have to be careful.
Yeah, he's definitely going to have to be careful because he's pretty much our last big man other than Gomez and Nesbitt, but they haven't played in about 20 minutes, it seems like. 20 minutes of game clock. But probably about an hour they haven't played.
Feels like it.
Yeah, it seems like that. So he's going to have to be careful, or else a guy that's cold, who has cold legs, is going to have to come in and probably guard David Johnson Jr.
So he knocks down a pair. They retake the lead by 1. Interesting move. No L.J. Johnson either coming off the bench as well. Kind of maybe the next resort for the last big man mentality as Crumble finds Latham. Latham for 3. No. And it hits the top of the backboard. And they're going to say it was out of bounds. So they'll give the ball back to the Owls here in this one, up by 1, 83-82. But, again, I'm still a little kind of worried about no L.J. Johnson.
I think it's really for a defensive move, I think. I think when you have Freeman out there, he's a little bit better of a defender. But, definitely on offense, that's who you want to go to. L.J. Johnson.
They finally get it inbounds to Kimbrell, who had to come back to the basketball. Tyler doing a good job on Gauze to kind of keep him in check as they feed Fessler. Fessler now drives in, puts one up off the glass, and gets it to go yet again. 85-82 as now, again, James Hayes wants to talk things over. So timeout taken by the Owls as he really kind of wants a substitution timeout, as it's only going to be a full timeout. So we're going to take a quick break too. 1 minute and 18 seconds left in double overtime as the Owls lead by 3, 85-82. More Lincoln College basketball right here on 89X.
I want to thank my mommy for loving me so much, for taking me to the doctor when I broke my foot,
for leaving me alone when I wanted to be alone.
And now, as a grown-up, I'm thankful for being able to take care of you, my dear mom, for taking you to your therapies, for understanding that sometimes you simply want to be alone.
Roles change without us noticing. That's why AARP gives you the information to provide even better care for your loved one. Visit aarp.org/caregiving. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Hi, I found a toy dinosaur over on the playground by Smith Street. It had this phone number on it, and, well, I just wanted to make sure the dinosaur made it back to its little owner.
When I found the little sippy cup, I just had to give you a call. It's for a kid, you know?
I know my son gets super attached to the smallest things, even a fire truck, and I'd be happy to drop it off.
We'd do anything for kids, yet 1 in 6 children in the U.S. struggle with hunger. Help end childhood hunger near you. Learn how at feedingamerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
We're back here at the Anderson Arena, where it has been a good one throughout this entire fair, as we got 1:20 left in double overtime. Lynx go by 3. Now Adam, kind of the go-to guy here. Lynx need a 3. Latham, we just saw him miss one. Is it Trayvon Tyler's turn?
I don't think Trayvon Tyler's really been shooting. He as much as Crumble, he had wide open lane. He could have just tried to go for it right there.
They do feed Latham. Latham had a 3. Instead drives into the lane, puts it up off the glass. Can't get a go. Ball's tipped in the air. Freeman was knocked to the ground. No foul called into the hands of the Owls. Now, again, we'll see what the Lynx want to do here. As that was poked away, Latham comes up with the rebound. The outlet now to Tyler, but Johnson tips it out of bounds, and it's going to stay with the Lynx here with 46 seconds left. So crazy turn of events. Like you said, Crumble had an easy 2. Latham had a steal. Freeman got fouled. All craziness here.
Yeah, I just don't think the refs are going to blow their whistle in that kind of situation. It wasn't enough contact to call a foul there.
As now Tyler drives in, puts one up off the glass, can't get it to go. Tyrone Wright is almost there for a rebound, but it hit the out-of-bounds line on the baseline. And now that's going to give the ball back to the Owls here, up by 3, so the Lynx don't have to foul. There's a 7-second difference between shot clock and game clock, but they're going to have to be the best defense they played all year.
Yeah, Bynum's going to come in for Trayvon Tyler, he cannot pick up a foul right here. So I think when they put in Bynum, as soon as the ball is inbounded, it's going to be a foul right away. I think that's what they're going to go for here, just to try to get the ball back.
See what they want to do. They're going to get as Crumble comes in with the steal, but he's going to step on the baseline. Could have been a push there by Kimbrell, but again, good defense there by the Lynx. Almost came up with the steal right there.
Yeah, he's coming up kind of limping. His ankle is kind of hurting him, but he seems like he's going to come into the game. And
now the officials going to the scores table here in this one that talks something over, possibly be a shot clock, or if the clock didn't start in time. Kind of only wasted like a second. Not really much to talk about, as it looked they're going to put 29 seconds on the shot clock, so 1 second wasted off the game clock. Nothing went off the shot clock, so there you go. Taking 1 second off the shot clock as we're going to set to inbound. The Owls will one more time. They throw it into Gauze. Gauze splits the team. He's got a lane. He gets it out to David Johnson. Johnson kicks it back out. The Lynx, they're going to try to hold this here as they're trying to foul somebody. It looks like there's a foul there, but now Freeman is going to be the one to pick up the foul, but they probably wasted about 12 seconds.
Or more. I mean, you got to foul sooner than that.
If you're going to foul.
Yeah, I mean, it's either they take the wide open layup right there, but they're smart. They're going to pull the ball out. They're just going to try to waste some time. They're still up 3. So you got to foul as soon as they bring the ball out of the floor or off the basket. You got to foul immediately just to stop the clock.
And now this time the officials are going to pull us back. So they let the Owls talk things over, but we're not allowed to talk things over, even though I believe Freeman fouled out. So that's the third Lynx player that has fouled out in this ballgame. Trayvon Tyler comes back in. And Gauze at the line for 2 shots. They lead by 3. First free throw, no good. So what little hope the Lynx have right here. They're going to have the ball to get the possession back, but they need him to miss both of them, as he does miss his first. And Gauze has one more coming. Would make it a 2-possession game if he does make it. As the second one off the front of the rim, no good. But Kimball pulls down an offensive rebound, and a foul is going to be called on Trayvon Tyler, so that's now his 5th. So there goes Trayvon Tyler out of the ball game, the 4th Lynx player to foul out here in this one. And now Coach Leback going to have to go to his bench as L.J. Johnson checks back in.
Yeah, just, what is that, the 4th person that's been fouled out of this ball game? We don't know for sure if Freeman was fouled out, but we assume so. But it's just frustration. That's all we're seeing right now from the Lynx, and it's definitely, this is a frustrating game, and it's definitely showing here tonight.
And I think it's only going to get more frustrating if the Lynx were not able to come back here in this one, as that would be, again, their 3rd loss in a row against some good teams, as he misses the second 4-point lead. Johnson now has it, trying to go coast to coast. Puts one up off the glass and gets it to go. Now Coach Lev is going to call a timeout, so L.J. Johnson comes right off the bench, goes right down the floor and gets an easy 2 for the Lynx to make it back to a 2-point lead for the Owls with 17 seconds left. And now a timeout called by Coach Lev. This is going to be a full timeout. Adam, we'll stay right here. Again, still a lot to be done for the Lynx to come back into this ball game. We know they're going to have to foul right here. So with that being said, who do you foul? And you know you don't have very much depth on the bench. So you got to be careful on who fouls who.
Yeah, I'm not really sure who you foul in this situation.
We all know one thing. It's not David Johnson Jr.
It's not David Johnson Jr. I'd say maybe.
Is it Gauze? I mean,
he just missed 2 right there. So I think it has to be Gauze. I don't know if he's going to miss 2 more. But on our side, I mean, as long as if we can keep it a 1-possession game, you got to give the ball to L.J. Johnson. I think this is his game. He just scored so easily going down the lane. So give it to him.
I mean, I like the pick as well. I mean, Latham Jr. was one of them, but it kind of has gone cold as of late here in double overtime. Lynx only need a bucket. 86-84, 17 seconds left to go in double overtime. Either way, it has been a great ball game on both sides for both teams here in this one, as it will be the Owls basketball coming out of the timeout. It was a made basket, so Fessler is able to run the length of the baseline as they throw a baseball pass into David Johnson, as it's going to go out of, no, it's going to be saved from going out of bounds, but it's into the hands of the Lynx, as now Latham Jr. loses control of it. Outlet now to Gauze, and he's just going to lay it up and in, and that's going to seal the deal right there. 7 seconds to go. Lynx down by 4. Going to need a basket here as they find Crumble. Crumble for 3. Yes! Somehow gets that one to go with 1.2 seconds left to go, and they throw it into Brooks. Brooks outlet to David Johnson Jr., and that's going to be the way this one ends, as your Lynx fall in double overtime, 88-87, in what was a great game here in the Anderson Arena.
Yeah, it really was a great game. It's unfortunate it just doesn't go our way, but it was a pretty hard-fought battle. But like I said, just unfortunate. I'm pretty speechless right now. I can't believe this happened. I don't think it should have happened, really. We had a comfortable lead at halftime, and we should have kept it.
No, I completely agree. The Lynx had their moments to kind of seal the victory here in this one. Again, like you said, even up 7 in the first overtime and still could not get things to fall and work out for them. This is a very frustrating loss for this Lynx team. Again, they had the Owls multiple times on the ropes, down by 10 with about 7 minutes to play. They came back and tied it, and up by 7 in overtime. They came back and tied it. Now and then lose by 1 in double overtime. This is now the 3rd loss of the season. The Lynx have lost by 1, and it's got to be frustrating.
Yeah, it's definitely frustrating. It's just kind of, I think I can't even say what I'm trying to say. The bleeding increases just because Montez Grimble hits that shot at the end there just to make it 1. That's been the number this year. We've lost by 1.
It's been the norm, right?
3 times now.
Out of our 5 losses, we've lost by 1 3 times. You're exactly right. And with that loss, it makes us 4-5 on the season. But again, this Lynx team could easily be 6-1, 6-2, 7-1. I mean, it's right there.
Yeah, it so easily could have been right there. I mean, we could have had those 2 games at home. So what is that now? That's 5 losses on the year, and very easily could maybe only have 2 right now.
I would have to say it maybe 1. They probably could have won one of those games in Fort Wayne as well. But again, that's going to do it all here for us. Again, the Lynx lose in double overtime on a great game there against William Woods. Again, our next broadcast will be Saturday, November 24th, where we will be in Joliet as the Lynx take on Cardinal Stretch University at 6 o'clock. Again, that game is at 6. And then the following game will be Sunday as well. That game will be at 4 in Joliet when they take on University of St. Francis in Illinois. But again, your Lynx fall in double overtime, 88-87, here to William Woods University, who improved to 3-4 on the season. Again, we will see you guys Saturday in Joliet. So, again, thank you so much for listening to Lincoln College Basketball. Again, thank you, Miranda Berge, for board hopping for us back at the station. And that's going to do it all for us. Adam Hoffman, I'm Nick Jackson, and we will see you guys Saturday in Joliet.
That's all she wrote. This concludes tonight's coverage of Lincoln College basketball on 89X.